Hi, I'm Raymond, and you're listening to Insert Quest here. Today's quest is Base Raiders. We are adventuring into the Hollow Earth with our adventure Base Raiders. Why don't we have our players introduce themselves, starting with Ryan.
Hi, everybody. I am Ryan. You might recognize my voice from such actual play podcasts as Ragnarok, which you should all totally be listening to. Today I'm going to be playing Amriel. Amriel is a demon who was summoned to Earth by an evil sorceress who disappeared in Ragnarok with all of the other powerful beings in this universe. And now she is a base raider with her two partners in crime? I don't know. Some of the stuff we do is legal.
It's legal in the jurisdictions that it matters.
Except
Morally.
France that time.
Yeah, except for when you're in Paris, when it was very illegal. But then it was you were retroactively pardoned because you saved Paris.
Most of it.
Enough of it to matter.
Question about jurisdictions. The Hollow Earth, is that... does that have the laws of any nation applied to it, or is it like...
Well, you're entering through Iceland, and so this all has been filed as an elaborate medical field trial.
Okay.
But I mean, once we get into the Hollow Earth, is it like Antarctica where it's divvied up, or is it just international waters?
No one knows
goes
about
kind
it,
of thing?
so it can't be divvied up. If anything, it would any resources you
okay.
find would probably count as it count as being from Iceland, but like you don't have to pay royalties for cutting down a tree. It's only when you try to cut down a forest.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let's just hope there are no more Nazis.
No, not Nazis. Not this
Yeah.
time.
Good.
Because usually if there's one thing that the Hollow Earth is lousy with, it's Nazis. And
Oh,
dinosaurs. But
Don't worry, I've got something else planned.
Oh, good. And hello, I am Alex. You might recognize my melodious tones from such podcasts as Ragnarok. And today I shall be playing Greg. He is a sentient alien cloud, which is actually a nanoswarm of tiny robots. He was sent to Earth to check it out and see what the species was like. On his way here, his species was enslaved and forced into slavery to fill the balloons of the terrifying war zeppelins of the Zikloth race. So now Greg is base raiding to find materials so he can return home and triumphantly save his species.
Wonderful. And I'm Finn, and I'm playing Yuri, who was formerly a endurance rally raid racer, died in a horrific crash sometime in the 80s, resurrected into a robot samurai army, which was then disbanded after Ragnarok, and turned to base raiding to continue seeking thrills. Also, he's now in a clone body that was Hitler, but isn't Hitler. Definitely very distinct from Hitler.
had some
Formerly
surgery.
known as Hitler.
Yes, the body that formerly had the face of Hitler.
He is Adolf adjacent.
Brilliant. So when we left off, you guys were driving down a switchback carved into the inside of a volcano's caldera on your way to a tunnel that would supposedly lead you into the Hollow Earth. You can see the temperature gauges rising on your car as you attempt to keep your windshield from bursting into flames. The proprietary superheat tiles that you acquired are helping out, but it's still quite warm in the car. And you're just slowly rolling down this switchback with Scout Team 1 leading you in, followed by the True Survivors, then the Valkyrs, then TKS, and then you, because you've all been placed in. It's a handicapped starting line, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
To get to the best camping spots available.
Indeed. So the true survivors will have a lead to try and scout the best spot. Greg, are you monitoring the radio signals?
I am.
You notice that your team is being signaled on your designated team radio channel.
Oh, okay. We have a car radio too, right?
Yes, basically. So you have car radios. It's just that there is a you can listen to EM signals you established earlier on.
Yes. Well, I'm going to tell if it's for the whole group, then I'm going to say, there's a message coming for us on channel 2.
Put it through,
no.
but not too loud.
Okay. All right.
Everybody's hungover. They
Yeah,
can't just turn off their hangovers like Greg.
I put it on a low volume.
TKS, TKS. I don't know why I said TKS. Ethereals, this is Scout Team 1 calling.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, apparently you do copy. We have a request to make of you as we prepare to abandon you in this primeval jungle.
So out of character, I'm sorry, I forget. Can the other teams listen in on this channel?
They could if they wanted to, but they have no way of knowing when you're on it. They'd have to monitor them all the time, and you can't devote the manpower to doing that.
Yeah, okay.
It's considered bad form, but it's not expressly forbidden.
Okay. Oh, what is the request?
We need you to... There is a power source reading that we're getting from in there. A large electromagnetic field of some kind. It seems to be quite powerful, although not very extensive. We'd like you to investigate it while you're in there and bring it back for us. If you do, there will be a bonus for you in the last heat of the season. Of the series, rather.
And have you made similar requests to the other teams?
And then he hangs up.
Well, I would assume that we're all being sent after the same objective.
That would fit into their reality TV programming garbage.
I mean, you could try and find out if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, did you tell us that you broke up with Alex?
I probably told Yuri over and over and over again.
Okay, well then, in that case, Greg says, "Oh, Amriel, perhaps you could get in contact with Alex and ask her if they've had any contact with Scout Team 1. You two are amicable."
And Yuri kind of like awkwardly coughs and like sideways glances from the wheel back over at Greg. And then looks at Amriel.
Amicable. Right. Well, I could try.
Oh. I apologize if I broached an unpleasant subject.
You didn't know. You didn't know, Fartman.
Well, if they haven't, do we want to tip our hat? Or hand?
Maybe we should try talking to TKS.
Well, I meant any of the other teams. It doesn't seem like it would be a hard deduction to assume that they're asking us all to go after the same thing. But I don't see how it would behoove any of the other teams to admit that, ourselves included.
Right. I'm sure that if we are in direct competition with them, that'll become apparent probably rather soon.
Well, it couldn't hurt. I can ask TKS if you would like.
Sure. Yep.
All right. Do you want me to put it on the car radio?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to switch to TKS's channel and radio over them. Hello, TKS. Do you copy?
Yeah, we copy, Greg. This is Kayuki. What can I do
hello,
for you?
Kayuki. I have a quick question for you. Were you given a clandestine objective by Scout Team 1?
We may have been.
Does it involve electromagnetics?
No? What?
Oh. Wait, so you don't have to investigate an electromagnetic field?
No. Do you?
Can I was going to say, can I insight check him, but that's not a thing. Empathy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could try that.
All right.
Greg seems to be developing a far more advanced empathy than he initially had.
Right.
Well, Greg's empathy is +1, which puts his total at +2.
All right. Sure. Sounds like a success to me.
Yeah. So is he like genuinely confused, or is he just dodging the question?
He is genuinely confused.
Oh, okay. Yes, we were given an objective by by Scout Team 1.
Yeah, Scout Team 1
to investigate a source of electromagnetism, and we thought that they may have given the same objective to the other teams.
Hang on a minute, Ethereals. We just need to having a problem with our radio, and they go off the radio.
You're breaking up.
I do not think they were genuinely having a problem with their radio.
No, I don't think so either.
Do you try and contact one of the other teams?
No.
Yeah, let's call the Valkyries.
Call the Valkyries.
I'm sure they'll tell us the complete.
Hey, girls.
Hey, Valkyries, what's your secret plan?
Fuck you! After a few minutes, the lava, you get down to deeper into the caldera, and the lava is erupting next to you. It's like sort of rolling and spurting upwards, like soup on the boil. You just see the lava kind of popping and exploding next to you a bit, and then you hear coming over the radio. Greg, do you copy? It's Takuma. We're getting a bit of magnetic interference from the magma flow. Lava flow? One of the two.
It is lava now that it is exposed to air. Yes, I copy.
Yeah, we didn't, in the spirit of cooperation that we've been fostering this season, we did not get a mission to recover any electromagnetics. We did, however, get a covert mission, but in the spirit of this being a competitive enterprise, we would prefer not to reveal to you what our secret objective is.
Off radio, I say to our team, perhaps we could suggest working together. They could help us, and we could help them. Or not.
I feel like unless The only thing that could bring us together at this point is if the Valkyrs make a move, and if that happens, then we've got their back. But otherwise, we've got our own objective to worry about. And just because TKS wasn't assigned to it doesn't mean that any of the rest of them aren't as well.
True. Very well. I radio back. Roger that, TKS. Thank you and good luck.
Likewise, Ethereals. And then the radio goes quiet for a while. And then you sort of come up to... You're almost at, like, the shore of the lava. And then you get out over the radios, broad spectrum goes... True Survivors. Goes, Scout Team 1, like, we're about to begin entering the lava flows. Well, the lava tubes, they're empty now, obviously. However, we're probably going to have low visibility, and comms are going to be a bit glitchy. So just keep an eye on the car in front of you. When we come to the opening, you'll have a few minutes to check your gear before launching into the final approach. And then they go off the comms again. As you begin rolling through these black obsidian tubes. They're almost like subway tunnels dug out by some kind of giant worm. As you begin rolling through this underworld, it's incredibly warm in your cars. The sweat is pouring off Emriel. It's like being home.
Yeah, it feels like home.
Yeah.
Well, we could run the air conditioning, but I don't want to waste the gas. So
you could have a nice ice cold butch juice Raiderade.
Oh god, I forgot we called it butch juice.
yeah,
Worst thing ever.
Fill your mouth up with butch juice.
Quench your thirst for blood.
Emriel will crack a butch juice and
Hell Butcher 4, return to the butching floor.
Yep.
From Dimension Gate Games. In partnership with Raiderade comes Butch Juice, the blood of hell.
We have no one to blame for it but ourselves, too.
it's true.
Molasses, pomegranate, and cinnamon spelt with an S.
Yeah.
For that authentic hell flavor.
They call it authentic, but it's really like American Chinese food.
Really?
Definitely-
It's a response to immigration?
Yeah, there's definitely some cultural interpretation there.
Okay. It's demons from hell attempting to appeal to the American palate, is what you're telling me.
Yes. There's-
Oh no, this is European, right? Is this specifically Icelandic?
It's
Or was
just the
this
drink
just-
that has been given to you for promotion for this run. Like previously, it was because you were in a location where that
Yeah.
was what Raiderade was pushing. They don't have
this is just a new one.
they don't have a big market share in Iceland.
Gotcha.
So, and you're going down into the bowels of the earth. So they thought, let's do a promotion for Hell Butcher 4, Return to the Butching Floor.
Right, of course.
It's a AAA title. They're dropping it soon, and they want to make sure that people know.
No. It's a Triple H title because hell.
Googling briefly, because I feel like we talked about it the other week. Dimension Gate is not a game studio. but there is a Canadian virtual reality 360 VR experience production company called Dimension Gate.
Oh.
Well, Dimension Gate Games, you have a very prosperous future to look forward to, where you are apparently publishing such thrilling game titles as Hell Butcher 1, Hell Butcher 2, Hell Butcher 2012, and
Well, not necessarily. It could be one of those deals where, Activision bought them out and gave the rights to another studio.
there you go. Well, you have to look forward to being bought out by another company and then selling soft drink. You guys are rolling through, and then you notice the lights from the Valkyrie's truck go off. Or maybe they've gone around the corner and you can't see them, but you can't see their car anymore. Their fucking tank.
Yeah.
It's just disappeared.
Should we be concerned?
Well, you were finding your way by following the car in front of you, so...
Weren't they the first car?
Actually, you're right. TKS would be in front of you. My bad. No, it was Valkyries. Valkyries were... It went... True Survivors, TKS, Valkyries, you.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yodel? Buddy? Friend? What did I say literally 10 minutes ago? Either way,
case-
the car in front of you disappears.
Right, like all of a sudden, or we sort of lose it in the haze?
Well, you guys are like...
Having a
There's
chat.
no haze, it's just dark. And then you can't see the little indicator lights that there is a vehicle in front of you.
Yep.
Could we, let's radio them.
Sure.
We radio the
I
car
guess
that
we'll radio.
was in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Valkyrs, come in, Valkyrs. Do you copy?
Static.
TKS, this is Ethereals. Do you copy?
Static.
If they let us into an ambush, I'm going to be very upset. Greg, do you have a drone or something on the outside where we can...
You do have a drone.
I do have a drone. I don't know if it's on the outside. It might be in the trunk.
Car's kind of sealed up with the heat proofing.
Yeah. We can't exactly open the door and go for a walk.
And also, like, the drone would probably melt.
Yeah, it was just like an off-the-shelf drone.
Okay, I thought maybe you had made some modifications, but that's right.
He made
I think I gave it like an EM sensor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which will actually help you accomplish your
Yeah.
mission. I didn't even think about that.
Neither did I. It'll help. It'll really help once you get to the Hollow Earth. Until then, it's just a hunk of metal and plastic that would melt. So
It
Okay.
would definitely melt.
What kind of sensors did we put outside the car, or is it none because we just like slapped some tiles?
I
You
believe
had the fishing radar, Which
Yeah,
fishing sonar, sorry, which won't work.
and that's not there anymore.
And Yuri is driving at the moment by looking through tiny slits in the ceramic plating covering the windshield.
But I can see full spectrum radiation. So
That is true.
pros and
Actually,
cons.
that's true. You might be able to use your super senses, Yuri.
To spot them.
Yeah. Because there's definitely EM radiation down here.
Yeah.
Because it's interfering
thermal.
with comms. I didn't know until recently that volcanoes give out EM fields that interfere with radios.
I did not either.
Yeah, that's really
the
interesting.
DJI tried to fly one of their drones into the Valkyrie Scout Team 1 True Survivors Valkyries TKS Ethereal. So TKS is in front of you.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, DJI tried to fly one of the Phantoms into an eruption in Iceland, and the drone signal kept falling out, and then I was like, oh, why that? And then volcanoes give off electromagnetic fields.
Whoop. Yeah, I guess I'll
guess that
try.
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean large amounts of.
Well, because they're big churning
Molten.
vats of iron and stone, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes
I was gonna
sense.
say, it's like one of the most destructive things on the planet. I'll give it a pass for electromagnetic interference as well.
Sometimes volcanic eruptions collide with storms, and then you have lightning lava.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So,
Um,
In
I'm gonna-
character. Go ahead.
I'm gonna like pull us to a stop. Should I stop or should I not stop? Is that a
Well,
thing?
there's no one behind us to hit. So their lights. So what's in front of us then? Is it still a straight tunnel?
blackness and obsidian. Like, you have not managed to run into the walls yet. Because you
Yeah.
have headlights on your car. They're working.
Right.
And previously we're just following each other's tail lights, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could have been that they, like, Yuri might have been looking to the left or the right, and they went round a corner and disappeared. And you're rolling closer and closer to either a wall or their lights went off.
Yep.
And there's an empty tunnel in front of you.
I'll pull us down to like a slow roll, and
Mhm.
then try and like peer out through the crack in the windscreen / sort of to the sides a bit, to try and reorientate ourselves, or to like notice the fading
Mhm.
aspect of another vehicle, or maybe like the tracks.
Yeah, that might happen.
Like,
Make me so awareness, I believe, is the skill we use in Space Raiders.
I have noticed unusual from my biodimensional
Yes,
armor.
notice. Go for it.
How about Arcana? Kidding.
I mean, Arcana could work
If they magically disappeared?
if they magically disappear. If they are literally driving into hell.
3.
Oh,
Plus 3.
guys, we took a wrong turn. We are literally in hell.
Yeah, you roll forward and you can tell that there's no wall there. It's empty tunnel, and so you keep creeping forward. And you pick up a bit of speed because like it's empty tunnel. So I guess just keep rolling forward, and then your headlights catch the back of TKS's car, and it looks like the lights have like cracked from heat. And then one of your headlights explodes.
Oh.
Huh.
Because you can't cover the lights.
Yeah. Are they still driving?
Yeah, they're still driving.
Okay.
Well, we'll hook back onto following them.
Yeah, just keep a little closer.
Do you guys talk about anything as you're driving through this lava tube?
I can make you some aspirin if you'd like.
It's nature's walls, Greg.
Oh God, yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Planet is,
Planet builds walls.
even this planet's geology is predisposed to walls.
Walls.
No wonder the humans love them so much.
Perhaps there's something in the atoms that make up this solar system that it favors wall structures.
I just don't understand.
What-
I mean,
what
Greg, have you ever
conditions?
thought about the fact that all of our cells have walls? Like, membranes for us, but like still.
Plants have cell walls for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, your entire planet's ecology is built around walls.
It's like in Rick and Morty where they're like, huh, hey look, trees on a cob. Birds on a cob. Oh my god, the whole planet's on a cob!
Exactly.
The
Except
whole
for
planet
Greg,
is
it's-
walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the aspirin might help. I doubt this butch juice is very hydrating.
I mean, here's the thing, though. I would have to use the oxygen in the car.
I mean, you could use some of the butch juice.
Oh, that's true.
You could use some of the car seat. You can use it. You could use the non-breathable components of the atmosphere.
That's true.
Turn some of that argon into aspirin.
It's definitely disappointing. I don't taste any sin at all.
Unfortunately, I do not know how to synthesize sin to make the drink more realistic.
Quick, feel him up. Get that sin going.
Yeah, need some lust up in here.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
you
I
could
will.
drink more of the butch juice, then it might taste like gluttony.
That's true. It would eventually start to taste like gluttony, but I'm not sure I want to push myself that far.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to really want it for it to be gluttony. Otherwise, it would just be sadism.
Autoerotic sin induction. Where a demon just feeds on its own sins. It's a net loss process.
Yeah.
It's like what happens when parties of demons get lost in the wilderness of hell.
Have to start eating each other's sins.
Yeah.
It's like
Quick, kill
vampires
that guy!
drinking the blood of other vampires.
Anyway, let's sidetracks this morning. You guys arrive at this sort of opening where all the other cars are sort of pulled up, and then you see the true survivors have sort of hung. One of them's got like a shotgun-looking thing and is launching rods into the walls that then sort of burst with light. They sort of bubble, almost like mushrooms covered in boils. So like these rods go into the obsidian around you, and then like this expanding, glowing foam mushroom balloons out and illuminates the cavern.
Interesting.
Like, all right, so there's 3 lava tubes that should lead you into the hollow earth in front of us. They are not illuminated, but there should be a light at the end of them. You'll get to pick whichever one you want, but you can't pick the tunnel that the team immediately before you went down. So, Valkyries, you cannot go down the True Survivors tunnel. TKS, you cannot go down the tunnel that the Valkyries went down. However, Ethereals, you may go down the tunnel that the Valkyries went down, or the tunnel that the True Survivors went down. But there are 3 tunnels. I suspect the first 3 of you will choose 3 different tunnels. And then the True Survivors start to mill about, and then one of them shouts out, "You've got 10 minutes to make final preparations, and then we're pushing you down those holes."
All right.
I must actually get out of the car.
Yeah, you can get out of the car.
I would suggest, Greg says this in character, I would suggest not going down the same tunnel as the Valkyries, because I do not trust them to not booby trap it behind them.
Good thought.
Fair. Still doesn't mean I'm not tempted, though, you know?
No, I do
You
not.
you see TKS do it. They are gathered around a couple of the around the tubes, and they appear to be doing some kind of analysis. Might be a mineral analysis or something.
Since I can detect EM fields,
Mm-hmm.
can I go to the tunnels and see if I can detect that strong electromagnetic field that they want us to look for?
You can't detect them with precision like the drone can.
Right. Okay.
You just sort of get a vague sense because you can listen to radio waves and everything.
Right. Okay.
There's nothing that you can read because, like, natural emissions are not formatted to convey
Yeah.
data.
Right.
But yeah, you're definitely not picking up any power source or anything. Remember the true survivors. Remember that Scout Team 1 enters the bases normally that they find for you if they're enterable. So they didn't enter the quarantine one from the last mission because it's like, if we enter, then the thing's going to be on alert, and that needlessly makes the objective harder. So we will just mark this as a base we can raid.
Right.
They probably went into the Hollow Earth thing and scattered it themselves.
Oh, I thought you
Fine.
said they did. Oh, I thought you said they didn't go into the Hollow Earth.
No, they did.
They
Oh,
didn't go
okay,
into
never mind.
the hot lab that we.
Yeah, they didn't go into the hot lab.
Your fellow cloud being.
They didn't know what was going to be in the hot lab. They didn't even really know what it was there for. They just were like, yep, this base is big enough that it should be interesting.
This base
It
is
is.
a base.
It is clearly something built by the Ideal, so it should have strong defenses. They didn't count on one of you impersonating a member of the Ideal to get in and succeeding.
Which
And
is why we
Virginia-
found something like Persecutor.
We didn't really plan on it. It just kind of happened.
No.
So do you guys get out of the car?
No. Will we burn to a crisp if we do?
Well, the Scout Team 1 is standing outside, and so are TKS, and they're not. TKS doesn't have superpowers, and Scout Team 1 has, like, boost patch kind of superpowers.
Right. Yeah, all right.
Yes, let's get out and stretch our legs.
It's incredibly hot.
Mm,
It's in the 60 degrees Celsius range. It is survivable for a human being, but you can feel your cells denaturing.
That must be unpleasant.
Yeah, you step out and you're immediately drenched in sweat. Which isn't super helpful because there's no wind blowing through here, so there's nothing evaporating away.
Ooh.
Oh, it's evaporating away.
Yeah, that's true, but it's not having the cooling effect that
No.
sweat is meant to. Every now and again, though, there is a little bit of a breeze, kind of, almost like a howling wind, for like half a second, that comes from the tunnels, and the air smells kind of sugary in a candy floss, fairy floss kind of way. Cotton candy, that's the American word.
Candyland.
Or almost like bubble gum as well.
Unexpected.
There are trees in Australia that smell like bubblegum.
Oh.
So, just in case they don't have those in America.
I don't think they do.
Yeah.
At least not around these parts. They don't.
I can't think of anything that Amriel would do. I mean,
This information.
she can't exactly scout ahead because we are not allowed to go past the start line, right? Or
Yeah, pretty much. Is there anything you want to do to your car? Or anyone else's car?
I would only want to fuck with the Valkyr's car, and that would be dangerous because there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, and there's like 6 armed soldiers gathered around it
Well, yeah, that's it.
with guns and spears and swords and boost patches.
It's pretty well. Boost patches are bad, but it's pretty hard to shoot a cloud.
Or cut a cloud.
Yeah.
Float like a nebula, sting like a storm, I suppose, is the Greg's race equivalent.
Yep. I can't think of anything we would do. We've got the heat padding, heat shielding.
You could check and see if any of your camping gear came loose because it was strapped to your car in vaguely
Oh, right.
heat-proof containers.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you realize you're real glad that you guys got down in here within like an hour, because like you can see the heat shielding on the camping gear like peeling off because you just kind of sprayed it onto it. Probably wouldn't have lasted too much longer. You probably really want to get on this show on the road.
Do we have any extra that we could spray on to reinforce it for a while until we get
only
to
what
wherever?
you could synthesize as Greg?
How much could I do in 10 minutes?
Probably not enough to worry. Not enough to be worthwhile. So
Matter.
probably best to just like not dawdle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
When we pass through into the Hollow Earth, are we going through like a portal or something, or is it just like a cavern that's going to emerge into?
You have no idea. The implication was that it's just a tunnel that's going to take you down into a place. Also, we've been describing it as the Hollow Earth, but it's probably closer to the underground. What is that called? It's closer to, I can't remember the name from Journey to the Center of the Earth. It's closer to being like a giant chasm in the Earth's crust as opposed to a full hollow Earth. Because if it was a full hollow Earth, that would completely change the physics of the real planet Earth.
The
Unless
fake sun in the
magic-
middle works at all.
Yeah, unless it's magic, that's true. So it's probably like
We don't know the extent of it.
I believe in Journey to the Center of the Earth, it's a Europe-sized chasm.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like this jungle and seas and stuff in it. It might be that large, it might be smaller. You won't really know, but you suspect that's probably what you're going to run into. You don't remember Yahweh mentioning anything about his kingdom beneath the kingdom, Amriel. So you feel like you'd remember if God had built a whole other Earth inside of Earth.
Well, it's
That's-
filled with a
that's true.
subterranean ocean, so it's probably pretty big.
The one in
Journey to the
Journey.
Center of the Earth.
Yeah, indeed. It's described as being the size of like Europe. It might even be the size of Eurasia.
So quite large. All right.
Impossibly large. How would it hold itself up if it was that large?
Magic?
I guess maybe mountains. Mountains could act like pillars.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Or rather, things that look like mountains. When really they're like cave walls. Anyway, giant stalactites.
Yes.
You guys line up, I suppose. The true survivors gathering around. They've pulled their bikes off the back of their truck thing, their ute, their pickup, their super pickup with its 6 wheels. And they've geared that up. They're sort of wearing, you can see Julio and Dick wearing like fireman suits as they mount up on the bikes. And then they rip down the tunnel, and then about 30 seconds later, their 6-wheeled truck rolls on down with the loud chugging of a diesel engine. And then the minute they cross that out of sight, the Valkyries pull away. They're not waiting to be told they can go or anything. And they pick literally the only tunnel they can due to their stupid oversized vehicle.
Yeah.
And take the far left, with the true survivors having taken the far right, leaving the middle one. And then you see TKS go in behind the true survivors.
I mean the Val. Wait.
TKS can
So
go
Val-
in behind. The TKS can follow the true survivors, but they can't follow the Valkyrs because the Valkyrs went in before them.
Oh, Valkyrs are second. I'm sorry. I thought the Valkyrs were first. I'm sorry.
So we can
Valkyries.
follow the Valkyrs or take the tunnel that nobody else has taken.
You can. Yes, you can in fact follow the Valkyrs. Yes, or take the one no one's taken.
Jazz? Okay. Crazy thing, my vote's for the Valkyrs.
Why?
Sounds like fun.
I feel. But what about the unexplored territory?
Greg, let me introduce you to a new word, a new phrase. You love idioms, don't you?
Oh yes.
It's an anagram.
Okay.
YOLO.
Oh. What does that stand for?
You only live once, Greg. Although I'm a living embodiment of why that isn't true, which is all the more relevant.
Interesting.
Yuri is the exception that proves the rule.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I before E, except after this rule is never implemented.
Right. Well, I hate myself right now, so yeah, why the hell not? Let's go for it.
It seems I have been outvoted.
You're following your enemies.
Into hell.
I feel like there's a heavy metal song or an Australian rock song about this.
Making bad decisions, making bad decisions.
It's
I
the
feel like
bad
there wasn't
decisions
necessarily a
team.
good decision.
You should change your name to the Bad Decisions team. So you start driving down the Valkyries tunnel, and you see bits of broken obsidian everywhere.
Our tunnel now.
As their vehicle has scraped the sides in places. And then you see something on the walls up ahead. You have a split second to react. Yuri,
I do it.
what do? You see things on the wall. They look artificial.
I roll to do it. I don't do it.
You don't have enough time to try and work out what they are. You just have to kind of guess and decide what you're going to do.
Bad things.
I will give you
So
that they look like man-made devices and they're stuck to the walls.
We've got like no clearance in here, right?
You guys do. The Valkyries didn't.
Oh, no, okay. I see them,
Mm-hmm.
and I will then, in my traditional form, gun it, and then attempt to like drive up and around the tube of the tunnel onto the ceiling and back down past the things. Because I assume they're not, I don't know, in a perfect ring, right?
Yeah, there's
They're
just
on kind of like the walls.
There's two sort of mechanical-looking bags, I guess, stuck to the walls,
Yep.
either side.
I'm going to drive onto the ceiling as I pass like over them.
Yeah, I
So
will
I'm not
say
on
that
the-
they are
the floor of
closer
the
to
thing.
the floor of the tunnel, so you might be able to. If they're bombs, you
Do
might be able
something.
to pass through them. If they're something else, who knows?
Who knows?
Make me that
Good, I
drive
do that.
check. As you guys, the rest of you other two spot these things, and then Yuri's just accelerating. You don't know what the fuck's going on. He's just started accelerating and trying to drive up the walls.
I'm gonna spend a fate point to get a +2 because I rolled a -1, which made it a 3. So I'll make it a 5.
Which
invoking
aspect are you invoking?
my conviction. The race gives me life.
That's a good thing to invoke. As
Because
you,
no, don't back out of this. We're going for it.
yeah, you've gonna fucking. gonna fang it. As you sort of spiral up the wall and shoot across the roof past these things, they explode with like a pop, not a bang, and what looks like silver discs go everywhere in the tunnel, and they splinter your ceramic heat shielding, what is left of it. But for the most part, it doesn't really damage you because of your maneuver. Does anyone want to try and work out what the fuck those were?
Greg, what the fuck were those?
I can try it, but Greg went to the bathroom, so.
Oh no!
Let's see.
Greg had to attend to his ionization buildup.
It's true, he did. Would you take an investigation roll?
I will take an investigation roll.
Okay. Let's see. Dice Stream.
We won't be able to use Dice Stream after April 25th.
Uh-oh.
Because apparently Hangout apps aren't business enough for Google.
Huh.
They're not professional.
Well, that sucked. I rolled plus minus, which leaves me with
0.
To give me nothing, which leaves me with +1. So I'm gonna spend a fate point and invoke literally older than Methuselah. Maybe I've seen something like this before, and that brings me up to a +3.
Tell me, how technologically advanced was the war in heaven? Was it like Magic the Gathering angels, or was it like Roman legionary angels?
I had kind of pictured it as Roman legionary angels, but
okay, so it's a bomb, a shrapnel bomb, and you don't know anything else.
All right. So some kind of, I'm guessing some kind of proxy detonator. It sensed us coming, and it just
blew up.
Yeah.
Went kablooey.
Yep, that was definitely a bomb.
Yep.
Well. Yep.
So this decision is paying off already.
Yeah, and you come down the other side and back onto the floor and keep ripping through. And then...
well, we really fucked up their booby traps.
And then
I'll show them.
You see a sharp turn up ahead in the tunnel, and you can see that the Valkyries definitely had trouble with it because the lava tube is crumbling around you, and you can see a little bit of magma seeping in. So maybe magma is better than bombs. You managed to avoid the bombs though that they left, so maybe you'll be able to endure the magma as your heat shielding is fucked.
How much magma are we talking about? Just
at the moment, it's like a drizzle.
Okay.
It's like
a drizzle. Yeah.
It means you guys basically
magma.
Yeah, basically it enforces a thing that we don't need to enforce, and that of you have to make decisions fast, and you don't have time to discuss what you're doing. It pretty much everything falls to Yuri or whoever shouts at Yuri first. Ideally, you'd probably want to slow down to take this corner because you don't know how tight it is or how long it is or what's on the other side of it. But if you slow down, you don't know whether the magma tube is going to crumble open.
Yeah.
Yes, but slowing down is not my style.
Yeah.
I didn't choose this path
we knew
because of
that.
caution.
Although I did warn you about the booby traps.
Right, so the magma tube is crumbling a bit, and it may completely crumble if we're reckless, and if we're slow, it might crumble and destroy us anyway.
How do you
Yes?
spell ceramic? Yes, that is correct.
CERMACIC. Sir.
Yeah, that works.
CERAMIC.
Yeah, C-R-A-M, I see.
I put in too many letters the first time.
Is it cool enough in this area of the tube that I could get out and scout ahead?
You don't have time to check. You're a fallen legionary, and you come from hell. So, like, you could risk it for the biscuit.
There is exposed lava over there, though, so it's not going to be cool.
Amriel, what are you doing? As you see the lava seep into the tube, and Yuri is barreling forwards.
What the hell? We're gonna go balls to the wall here. Amriel is gonna slip out of the car if she can, as quickly as she can, and go.
You wrench open the door as the ceramic tiling snaps off your door, and you jump out and sprint into flight, I suppose.
And I'm pretty fast. I can move 3 zones as a free action.
Ooh, what is this, D&D? Take a 5-foot step and disengage from grapple. I get an attack of opportunity from the lava as you move past it.
I'm gonna bull rush the lava.
Ooh, bull rush. Oh, that's a plus D2. All right. Do you have the bull rushing feat though? Because it's not really practical without the bull rushing feat.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's not.
All right, so you charge forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I just want to see if there's anything else coming down the pike that we should know about, so we have maybe a little more time to react.
As you go around the corner, you get a hail of bullet fire sort of strafes you. It doesn't hit you, but you know that you're right on top of the Valkyries because they are slow.
For a second, you said bullet fire. I thought it was some weird type of volcano eruption.
Ah, yes, bullet fire.
Bullet fire!
Named after Jeremy Bullet. Its discoverer.
Are our radios working?
They're
say,
working enough. They're crackly as fuck.
All right, I say on our channel, looks like we're catching up to the Valkyrs. They don't like it.
But the road is clear. I assume
we're in a
just
tube.
Guns it. Yeah, you're in a lava tube.
And how much space is around the Valkyrs?
Almost none. They're scraping the sides because lava tubes are irregular circles, irregular cylinders.
And what about above them?
Because their vehicle is mostly square. It's actually stretched out hexagon. The top corners are scraping the sides the most.
Oh, okay. So we can't do a cool daredevil trick and drive on the wall of the tube around them.
No, you can't try and squeeze past them without breaking.
We can't
the lava
Fast
tube.
and Furious them.
I think we'll find that if we can't go over them and we can't go under them, we'll have to go through.
Through their tank?
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm not going to question this insane plan. I've seen the Covenant. I know how this can work. I don't know how you guys are going to do it.
Oh, I haven't seen the Covenant, so please enlighten me.
A wizard is about to crash his Lamborghini into an oncoming truck, and he disassembles his car into a fireball and reassembles it on the other side of the truck and burns up like 20 years of his lifespan.
Holy shit.
Like, I would have just fucking teleported myself out of the car, but he needed to save his car, apparently.
Well, I think we're short a wizard, so...
You are short a wizard. That's why I'm like, I don't know how you guys are going to do it.
Unless someone has spontaneously manifested a phasing ability, I don't think we're...
Well, I kind of have, but it's not spontaneous, and it won't help anyone else.
It won't help anyone else. So, Yuri, you come roaring around the corner, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yuri, do be careful. It seems the Valkyrs are quite close.
The plus side of being sprayed with machine gun fire is that the ceramic on your windshield starts to peel off as it shatters and crumbles away from the machine gun fire, letting you see more of the lava tunnel. But if those bullets hit the glass, it's not bulletproof glass, so...
You have a very strange definition of plus side.
Well, the plus side is Yuri can see more of what he's doing.
Yuri didn't need to see anyway.
That's true.
Good news.
Relying on one's eyes is for drivers that rely on skill alone.
He's been using the Force this whole time, and we all know it.
If it wasn't for his fear that he might not be able to get back into his body, he could just possess the car, and then he wouldn't need to be able to see, but...
Yeah, exactly.
Possessing the car, though,
would make it easier to drive.
Wait.
Possess which car?
Exactly.
Indeed.
You do still have that grappling hook I made for you.
He could also just run into the back of them. You guys have speed advantage.
Well, yeah. But that would
Emriel, what are you doing as you are outside the car?
I'm gonna duck and weave and see if I can draw their fire to me and stay in the spaces where the bullets will not hit the Datsun.
That's not really possible. This tunnel is not that wide.
Too small? Okay.
Yeah, the tunnel is almost too small for an APC, so it's, there's like maybe a meter at most either side of the Datsun.
Okay.
We push them through.
Emriel could, however, get up out of their range of fire, because that machine gun's coming from on top.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
So she goes down then.
Well, she could just go right up to the back door of the APC. They're not going to open it while driving.
Yeah. All right. I will.
Why not? We did.
And that's what we're gonna in the car go for that position as well.
All right. So you
speeding up right behind them, and then slowing down slightly so we don't just fall and slide.
You're going to slipstream them.
Yeah. Basically.
But then
Draft
bump
them,
into the back of them, and then force them essentially.
Yeah. All right. So Emriel is basically hanging off the back of their APC, and then Yuri. I cede narrative control to Finn for a moment so he can describe to me what the fuck he's doing.
So we, accelerate at this pace. We're already going much faster than them anyway.
Yeah.
Accelerate to chasing up behind them, and then slowing down just before we essentially collide with the back of their APC. So that we're bumper to bumper with the back of them, out of most of the view of their top mounted machine gun.
Yeah, it can't get you.
And then gradually accelerating up, so that we are then locked against the back of their APC, and then revving into the back of them to push them forward faster than.
You're gonna try and
go.
Oh god.
There is a police term for that. I can't remember what it is. They normally you
Fucking
can
stupid.
you can. It's basically advanced tailgating, but you can use that to stop a car if you're in front of a car. You can brake in front of them to stop them. So you're just doing the reverse
Using
of that.
the opposite.
Yeah, you're doing advanced tailgating. So you're pushing onto them. You probably don't have as much torque as, although I guess it's the Datsun 10,000. It's got fucking 2 engines.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I can make a check for the Datsun
Yeah, let's make a check for the Datsun.
because I have a move ability for the engines.
Yes, let's do that. I think.
The car, it's a +1. Roll the -1, it's a +2.
All right. So you can feel that the car is straining to push this thing, but you are pushing it. And then, Emriel, you see a steel gun port open on the back door, and a barrel gets shoved through. What do you do?
Can I bend the barrel?
I don't see why you couldn't. You're a big, strong demon lady.
Yeah.
It's just steel. Gun steel at that. How strong could it be?
All right, so I'm at +3 from my demon warrior.
What tier is your strength?
My strength is at superhuman. Oh no, ascendant.
Yeah, you bend the barrel. I'm not going to make you roll.
Okay.
So do you bend it down or towards you or what? How do you bend it?
I'll bend it down.
Yeah, so you just bend it down and you feel like heat on your hand as the barrel, as bullets just start hitting the ground, and then the gun sounds like it jams. Yeah, you've crushed the barrel by bending it. And then they try to pull the gun back through and can't quite
them
get
out.
it.
Yank him out through a tiny hole. Do it.
The hole is like this. It's like a gap of a brick.
Mhm.
Well, they might not get pulled through, but they'll get pulled into it.
It's true. You could try and slam them into the door.
Yeah, I'll give the gun barrel a quick yank and see if I can knock the person out.
All right, that I will make you roll for because, like, it's basically to see whether they slam into the door or whether they let the gun go.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because you might yank it out of their hands. It's kind of like precision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, that bottle of water didn't last long. It's gone, and it's been like an hour.
Well, you're working up a sweat with all that talking.
Well, that's one of the many reasons that the webcam is off for this stream, because I didn't want to wear a shirt.
I am also not wearing a shirt.
It is really hot today. It's not as hot as it was last week. I think it got to 49 that day. But it was hotter. It got hotter later in the day, whereas it's been really hot from the get-go today.
Well, continuing
Yeah.
Dice Stream's hatred of me today, it rolled ± nothing, so I break even with the roll. And that leaves me at +3.
Yeah, so you slam them and you hear the thud of a head hitting a steel plate. And then like some shouting in a language you don't quite understand.
I
Yeah.
think they know we're here.
You think? We're just gonna stick where we are, I guess.
I suppose
Not
so.
sure.
I'm trying to, pushing them faster than they presumably want to be going in some sense.
Emriel, as they're shouting about something, because you can't understand them,
Wait,
you then
no, her radio would have took it up. Never mind.
you then hear a shout of like a command. And then everyone sort of goes quiet, and then you notice that there's a lot of light coming from around the vehicle. Like as if there is a light in front of it. Like
Okay.
daylight, perhaps.
I think we're coming out of the tunnel.
And
Emriel.
then... and then APC in front of you goes flying through the air as you come out behind it, also flying through the air. And it starts to fall faster below you as you go sailing over it. And you guys see a massive, vibrant yellow forest and these bright they're almost like quartz domes hanging from this rocky ceiling. And far to the west, there is a large pool of almost like a small sea of boiling water. And there's mist everywhere, and you just go sailing into some trees.
Oh, I was going to say, Amriel, catch us!
Unless...
No, I engage our falling gear. We have falling with style upgrade.
That is true. You do have falling with style.
Oh yeah, our jump jets.
To slightly control our descent.
All right, make me a drive
Into this
check.
tree.
I guess make me a fly check, but, you know. Make me a pilot roll as you try to use the jets to steer yourself through the trees.
3.
3, that's enough. You manage to push the vehicle to the side, and you go through a thinner bit of trees, and you land on a forest floor. There's a lot of sort of purple things down here, purple plants. Looks more like mushrooms than trees. More like mushrooms than shrubs, I suppose, is a better way of describing it.
Okay.
Amriel, do you have eyes on the Valkyrs?
I haven't detached myself from them yet. But
Okay, well.
Yeah, they just fucking
Yes.
slam down into some trees. You're closer to where you came out, Amriel, and you see that there's just like this big wall. Basically, it's like a cliff, but it just goes right up to the ceiling of this cavern.
How far did they fall?
Let's go with 20 meters.
Oof.
You can see that one of their wheels has popped and another one has buckled. But they've got 8 wheels mounted to the vehicle, so they can probably still drive.
Amriel, may I make a suggestion?
2 spares.
Suggest a way, Greg.
On your way back here, why don't you slash their tires with your Gladius? Like, just run up one side and just slash all the tires. And
There's
come meet
no
up
way
with us.
that they have 5 spares because you take out 4 on one side and one of the other damaged wheels is on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
All right. In that case, yeah, good call. I'll manifest my Gladius.
Unless
and-
that's going to be a rule against us directly attacking another team, but...
No, you're not allowed to directly kill.
Oh, right, okay.
There's nothing against sabotaging their vehicle. They're not driving at the moment, so it's not likely that they'll flip the vehicle and it'll explode.
Right.
Because they're stationary, this is arguably the best time, rules-wise and penalty-wise, to slash their tires.
Also,
They're
they
probably
planted
a
a
bit
shrapnel bomb.
They did, in fact, grant shrapnel bombs, which is only legal because they can then argue, well, it didn't kill them, so clearly we didn't kill them, and therefore, what rule in our highly illegal race game did we violate?
Yeah.
We had complete faith in the Ethereals that it would only slow them down.
We should really get ourselves killed at some point, just so we get the moral victory.
You slice through their tires as you see the machine gun turret with the gun with the gun turret sort of damaged, like the top of hatch swing open, and somebody with like blood streaming down their face, and one good eye open, jumps out and shouts, "Hey, fuck you, man! Slashing our goddamn tires!" Fuck, nearly killed us pushing us out of that damn tunnel like that.
Hope everybody's all right in there. I'm just kidding. I don't give a shit. And then I fly off.
Pistol and fire it limply into the air. So they miss you. Brilliant. You meet up with your team who are in the underbrush. And just as Emriel arrives, a large kind of what is the word? Large dung beetle, scarab looking thing, a rhino beetle, you know, the ones with the big fucking horn on it, appears. It's about the size of a tiger.
Okay.
That's large.
And Amriel, you're starting to feel inebriated.
Uh-oh. I think... Whoa.
What is wrong?
I think I'm getting drunk again, Greg. Something in the air, maybe. Or contact with whatever.
The large beetle starts like gnawing on a fallen tree. It's like pinched it at one end and then started dragging its kind of lobster nutcracker shaped mouth along the bark. It seems to be like stripping the bark off the tree.
Can Greg do the windows open? No.
Yeah, the window's open now. Most of your ceramic shielding's been stripped off.
Greg is going to crack open a window and exude a little bit of his cloud and like taste the air to see what's in it. Like chemical test the air. I guess I will roll for that.
You will roll some sciencing.
I'm gonna roll some sciencing. That would be +5.
Nitrogen is down. Argon is down. Carbon is up, as is sulfur, and oxygen is sitting at about 30%.
With my 5, could I extrapolate that? Is that the air composition? What's making Amriel feel intoxicated?
What is your medical knowledge of human beings like?
I do have medicine somewhere.
Doesn't medicine fall as part of science?
It's different. Oh, yes, I do. I have science at +3. Oh, yeah, treatment physical.
Yeah.
I have science at +3. So you want me to roll that?
No, you don't need to roll. I just wanted to make sure that you had a knowledge of medicine.
Yes, I do.
Emriel is probably suffering from oxygen intoxication, which can happen in oxygen-rich environments.
Amriel, try breathing less.
Good tip there, Greg. Thanks for that one.
There's too much oxygen in the atmosphere. If you breathe it, you will feel inebriated. I assume Yuri would probably feel the same unless his suit can filter it somehow.
Yuri's suit is probably buying him like an hour. Because it wouldn't filter out oxygen. Because it would have no reason to.
That would be stupid. Why filter out oxygen? Could I use that hour to pressure seal the car? Because we have an oxygen unit.
That's not the problem. That wouldn't help you. Basically, what you need to do is slow down or reduce the amount of oxygen they're getting. So, like, sealing the car, I guess, would kind of help. But
but only insofar as we can control the atmosphere inside the car.
Yeah, and you guys are going to need to get out of the car. It's not like there's a lot of roads.
With my super science, could I make them some sort of mask that will filter out some oxygen?
Yeah, you could totally make a mask that traps some oxygen.
All right, yeah. That's what I'm
you
gonna
just
try.
need something that'll bind to O2, but not all of the O2.
Greg knows what that is and is going to make that out of some stuff on the ground.
There's lots of shit that will react to oxygen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
The condition is called hyperoxia, by the way.
right.
And I got the idea from Terra Nova.
Oh, yeah, they did have that.
Because
This
they
was
were from a future
prehistoric.
with really low oxygen, and then they went back to the Jurassic period, and it's like,
Yep.
oh boy, why are we all collapsing?
Look at all this oxygen. Woohoo! I got a +4.
Yeah, that'll work. It'll take you like an hour to put together the molecules and everything. Do you
Right.
guys want to stay put? You're only like 50 meters from the Valkyries.
Yeah,
Well,
nah.
presumably I could like scoop a bunch of dirt into the car and then
Yeah,
work
you
while-
turn on your hologram hands and
Yeah.
scoop up a bunch of dirt into the car and say, Yuri, drive!
Yeah.
North. Let's see. I said to the west there was a lake. So let's say that you're coming from the south.
All right, so the giant wall is south.
Yes, the tunnel, the lava tubes that you came through are south. The boiling sea is to the west. Do you want to go? Which direction do you want to go?
Well, we need to find a place to camp, and we need to find that electromagnetic signal.
And we didn't have any
So-
idea where it was.
Nope, they didn't tell you. They just said that it was here. It wasn't a large field, but it was powerful.
Okay.
Why don't we head north, because the boiling sea might not be too useful. And
You don't
then
see
once
any other
we head
sources of
north,
water.
Greg can whip out his drone to once Greg finishes making the masks, he can whip out the drone to see if we can find the EM signature.
Sure. So you're going to head north?
That's my suggestion. It's up to you guys.
Maybe in the next hour before Yuri starts to experience the effects, we should find a place to stop that isn't, within walking distance of the Valkyries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
the
I
other
think
thing.
if we
Getting away
cover
from
as
the
much
Valkyries
ground
is
as
good.
possible
Yeah.
and find somewhere to camp soon.
Cool.
Yep, sounds good. No, sounds good. Boiling lake sounds not good.
No. How about like northwest? So if we want to go to the boiling lake, it's closer, but
Yeah.
it's not.
Cool. So you start, you raise the car up on its spider legs, and there's a few moments where you have to lift one of your wheeled legs over some trees. But it's slow going. And eventually you come to... It's kind of like a river. It's probably more aptly described as a creek. It's really wide, but it's really, really shallow. It's like pebbles, water over pebbles in terms of its depth. But it's like as wide as a freeway.
Okay.
Is it water?
It is water. You can tell that it is, for the most part, pretty normal water. There's some traces of... let's go with...
Nitroglycerin.
Yeah, no, there's traces of LSD. No. There's traces of sulfur, but not in a concentration that would be dangerous to humans.
Has it been an hour? Have I made them
It's getting
hyperboxia
there.
masks yet? Okay. Well,
Um,
I presumably Greg is doing one then the other instead of two at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I'd
one
say
of
that
you
Amriel's
guys-
finished.
Yeah. So Amriel has a mask. If you want to get out and restock on water.
All right, sure. I will start to do that. Yeah.
you said it is water, but are they pebbles?
I don't know. They look like rock. You could instruct a teammate to inspect further.
Does this seem like a good place to camp, or should we?
No. Wide open and exposed.
Yeah, fair. I'll make my slow way of like crossing it carefully in the car
Yeah.
as the others like fill up on water and stuff.
Car creeps across, rolling through. You guys gather up some water in the empty bags of butch juice, Raiderade, that you have.
Well, we have some water because we have camping supplies and stuff, so we have water.
But
And we
those
just
would
have more
presumably be full.
Yeah.
So, like, the only empty canisters of water containers for water you have are the butch juice packets.
Yeah.
Because they're in those squeezable,
Yep.
sort of almost like IV bag kind of things. I think actually is an energy drink that comes in that.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I would say I would not either. You said it's a creek. What is the flow like? Is it fast? Is it slow and light?
It's pretty fast considering that it's running over these pebbles. Like I said, it's really wide, but it's like half a foot deep at most.
Okay.
So very, very, very shallow. There's nothing living in it. There's plants growing on like the edge of the water that kind of looks like somebody with a curly afro. Their hair is just growing along the edge in like kind of these thick rows. It's just very deep green.
All right. Well, as long as I don't see any like animal skeletons along the river, and Greg says it's okay, I guess.
Yeah. I wouldn't tell Greg it's fine. Like, it's not that kind of game.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If we're playing like Cliffside, I'd be like, well, you're gonna have to stay here for an hour, do water analysis. I mean, just the molecular analysis tells you that there's no dangerous trace elements, but that doesn't tell you what kind of microbes might be living in here. Like, the whole game would just be determining whether the water was safe to drink. That would be the threat if this was a Cliffside.
All right. In that case, I will just hold the pouch in the water, in the current, so that it fills itself, and then close it up or tie it off, or as I collect the water.
Yuri, as you get to the other side of the creek, you see these kind of termite mound-looking things, like the ones they have in South Australia and Western Australia, like the sort of spires that rise up. They look like pretty normal ones, although they have like these. Hello, Rachel. But they have like these coin-sized holes up the sides of them, which look like a bit bigger than what termites would have as entrance holes. And then the
holes of something that would be a large ant.
No, you see a snake with like pincers on its face slither out.
Snake bug.
Some kind of snake.
Snake or like giant centipede?
It could be a giant centipede, but it doesn't have legs.
Right.
But it is small for a snake. It'd be like maybe a foot and a half long, and in terms of thickness, I mean about a coin.
Okay. Cool.
Like a 20-cent coin. It's a pretty small snake, very large centipede.
Yeah.
But yes, it's more snake-like than. Although I guess it has like centipede skin, but yeah, it has
segmented, but like a worm with mandibles.
Yeah, it looks worm. Worm is probably the closest, and it sort of slithers out, and then you see a couple of others slithering around. It's pretty much just black, almost like an onyx kind of material. Yeah.
Which way are the mounds? Are they like cylindrical or like flat, like those termite mounds?
I'd say they kind of look like spires. They end in a point. They are kind of bladed, to a degree. Their blades seem to be aligned northeast to southwest.
Yep.
So perhaps there is a strong wind or something that makes them align that way, so that the wind cuts around them.
Or a magnetic field.
They might be magnetically aligned. That's true. You don't know how much like termites they are.
Yeah. Cool.
And then the other two are done filling up the water bags. And Amriel and Greg come back to the car.
Oh, what fascinating creatures.
Right.
Did enjoy camping, Amriel.
I mean, this place. I don't know what those things are, but I don't really want to take any of them home with me, if you know what I mean.
I do. But you are a demon from hell. I feel like there's worse things, right?
There are worse things. I mean, there's a boiling lake here, but that's a little bit banal. It's just water. There's no blood or molten gold or anything like that.
Well,
Then it starts raining molten gold.
We're rich and in debt and encased in gold, but we're rich.
Here is your crown.
Crown for king.
Crown for a king.
So you guys creep forward through the jungle some more, and the trees start to thin out a bit and become a bit more like palm trees. And then you realize that you're coming to almost like a lagoon off the boiling sea.
The tepid lagoon.
Yeah. The soup lagoon.
Could I fly around and look for scout for a place to camp, a good clear spot that's not exposed?
Sure.
All right.
How high do you go? Do you go up to the weird glowing quartz hanging from the roof?
I don't want to like silhouette myself against the glowing light source, so
It's not one light source, so
Yeah,
because
it's-
you'd be close to a roof of light, there'd be enough light coming around you. It shouldn't make a shadow.
Okay.
It'd be like if you were in a field of light. You wouldn't cast a shadow because of how many light sources there'd be.
Yeah, true. All right, so yeah, I will fly up to the ceiling and let's see. Boom. Oh, much better. So that's +5.
As you like search around. That's what you're doing, right? You're sort of surveying
yeah.
the land beneath you.
Or wait.
Yeah.
That was my. I rolled to fly, not to search.
Well, you
that's-
didn't need to fly.
Yeah.
There's nothing fighting you. Light does not interfere with your wings. You're not
Right. So-
one of the light thopters from Princess of Mars.
Right. So that's +3. I'm sorry. I
That's
was
fine.
adding the wrong
To
skill.
like search. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you fly up there, you realize that these are not. This isn't glowing quartz. These are balls, bowls almost of quartz with like something luminous inside them. Could be magma. But why hasn't it like broken it or whatever? Could be magma, could be something else, but there's something in them, a fluid that is making the light.
Are they like warm?
Glowstone.
Are they warm to the touch?
Not by much. It's like enough that you don't want to leave your hand on it, so it's like a light bulb.
Okay.
So it is creating heat, because otherwise this place would be very cold.
Yeah.
But probably most of the whole heat here is just coming from the fact that you're in the earth. Zion rules, I suppose, like in the Matrix.
Gotcha. All right. No, we wouldn't have. Yeah.
But yes, beneath you, you see the lagoon has like these sort of yellow palm trees around it, and they spread for a bit out. There's you don't see any structures near that. To the north, however, about halfway from the wall at that side, the edge of the cavern at that side, you see a large concrete structure reminiscent of World War II bunkers.
Ah, damn it.
Well, we found the Nazis. I'm gonna radio back to them. Looks like we got a structure here off in the distance.
How far away?
A day by car, less if you walk.
About a day by car, but less if we leave the Datsun.
Has the light changed at all since we've been here?
Nope.
So it's just like constant glow from those things.
It could very well be constant daylight here.
Makes
Weird
sense.
thought. In general race rules, Amariel is prohibited from using her flight to transport multiple of us anywhere.
She's allowed
But-
to carry you if it is like you're falling off a cliff,
Yeah.
or to
Yeah, but
like
we
get
can't,
you
like-
to the top of a structure. But she's not allowed to be your mode of transport.
Yes. But in this case, we are in the base.
Okay. Yeah.
So
There's
are we in a loophole in that she's not allowed to transport us when we're racing to the base, or teleporting and stuff? But now that, given that we are somewhat essentially in the base and not actually securing it,
There could be an
Look.
argument made. I suppose she'd only really have to carry one of you because Greg is effectively the weight of
A cloud.
Cloud. Really, now you're effectively like the weight of your hollow projector plus a few extra grams.
Yeah.
Does that structure look like a good camping spot?
I can't tell right now. It looks like a concrete bunker of some kind.
The concrete looks worn, but it doesn't look overgrown, so something's been keeping plants from growing off of it.
Yeah.
Amriel, can you see any of the other tunnels that the other teams would have exited from?
Can I?
There's lava tubes coming out of all of the walls around, like the cavern edges.
Okay.
And you also notice that there's a lot of clear terrain around there. It could be that those lava tubes regularly fill back up and
Okay.
burn the edge of this area.
Okay.
I was trying to see if we could because if we could see it, chances are someone else can see it as well. It might be less of a camping place and more of a rallying point for all the teams.
Mhm.
Especially if there's no other structures in the area. Presumably, we all came out within a relatively short distance of each other,
Yes.
and we have not gone far, so this is still relatively close to the entrance area that we all came in from. So everyone could be heading here, as far as we know.
To that building. Could be, especially
Either
like,
way, it seems like a good idea to maybe make camp somewhere and then maybe head towards it and check it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
Is this
You've
Look
got
up some
5 days in here, so
Yep.
What is the exit point again? Just
you
remind me.
haven't been told. You told actually probably as just after you started driving through the forest after like scooping dirt into your car, you would have heard a series of explosions and seen like clouds of dust come out of a few of the lava tubes that were sealed. So you know that the way you came in, you can't go back out through.
Okay, so presumably they have another plan for that.
Yeah. You haven't been told what your extraction will be. You've just been told you are sealed in here for 5 days.
I sure hope they have another plan.
I mean, they might be teleporting you out. You don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Race 6 would be awfully boring if we were all buried in the hollow earth.
Yeah, they just wanted to hire a new team, so they just killed you all down here. Like,
Just like,
oh no, we've lost communication, even though our cameras are quantum entangled.
Can I see any other spots that might be suitable?
You got a 5. No, a 3, sorry. You got a 3. So there's a light source, the barrack thingy, bunker doobie, the you see to the east there is, at first it just looked kind of like a mountain that touched the roof, but now it kind of, you realize it's a different color to the surrounding rock, but only vaguely. It's like a mud hut structure, but massive.
Okay.
Could be a giant fucking termite mound. Could be something else. Could be an adobe structure. It is unclear. This is basically the size of a city, this cavern.
Right. I will relay that to them. These are the features I'm making out.
I am honestly, I am wary of any of these features down here. It might be best if we camped on the side of this lagoon in the tree line for today, and then moved tomorrow.
I'm all for that. Before I fly down, I'm going to, I guess, take some aerial reconnaissance photos using my cell phone.
Yeah, sadly, you can't tweet at your fans from in this deep beneath the earth. Weird that Verizon hasn't set up any coverage spots down here.
Yeah, there's a giant, what could be a termite mound, but there's no cell towers. How sad.
Weird.
I'm also gonna snap a few pics of the glow globes. So maybe Greg can, get a clearer look at them, see what. Maybe he has a better idea of what they are.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you head back down to the camp. You guys pick out a spot near the edge of the water, and I suppose you pull
Is this
out.
lagoon boiling?
No, it is quite warm. You could go explore the end that touches the end that is next to the boiling sea.
Sure. Greg is going to go explore.
It occurs to me I should make notes of where all the fucking shit is that I just set out in terms of its directions so that I don't forget. Because we all know at the beginning of next run, I'll be like, where did I say the boiling sea was? Boiling sea.
And then Yodel will come to your rescue with all of you.
I can't always count on Yodel. One day he might need to sleep.
Yeah.
Boiling sea to the west. Entrance was lava tube. Lava tube entrance was south. And structure east. Bunker doesn't have a T in it. North.
Bunter.
Bunter.
Oh, I spelt it bunker. I put the T in there.
Bunkert.
The Bunkert.
The Battle of Bunkert.
The Battle of Bunkert Hill.
So,
Well, before Greg goes exploring the water, he gives Yuri a mask so that Yuri won't die of hyperoxygenation. And then
strap the mask onto your suit, and your suit, you get the sensation, all of a sudden, you're feeling the emotion of insult, but it's not your emotion.
Then I'm going to pull out my drone and see if I can find that electromagnetism that they want us to look for.
So yeah, you fly it up into the air and you're getting a few electromagnetic spikes. There's EM coming from like the fucking walls. There's EM coming from your own stuff. There's a large spike to the south and a large spike to the northeast.
Well, south is where we came from, so presumably that could be the Valkyrs. So I would think northeast might be our best bet for whatever it is they want us to look for.
Yeah, from where you are, northeast could be the bunker because you're to the west.
Okay.
It could also be somewhere that splits the distance between the bunker and the thing that was at the east, the weird adobe structure that may or may not be a termite mound.
Right. All right. Well, we have a heading at least.
And we
What
have
did
5
they say
days.
specifically? Yeah, we have ages. What specifically did they say we were looking for again?
A large EM source that they suspect is a power source due to its like signature. It was powerful but not strong. Sorry,
And
it was
they wanted us
powerful
to
but
just-
didn't have a large field, I meant to say.
Yeah, and they wanted to just investigate that.
Yes,
So they
and if
want
it
us
could, and if it could be returned, then bring it to them. Like if it's a natural phenomenon, don't worry about it. But if it's like a power generator built by the Atlanteans, they want
So
that shit.
here's another question. What exactly do we get out of this race?
This race, the same thing you get out of every race. There could be things down here. For example, if you guys were a team of biochemists, and that was one of your superpower gimmicks, then there might be a bunch of shit to reverse engineer down here from like plant extracts and weird monsters and things like that.
Right, but this is like a massive area. It's not just a base we're clearing. So if we win, how do we like get half of the stuff down here?
Yeah, so more, as they said at the beginning, this race is going to be different. They're testing you to see how they want to. They're trying to make good television. They want you to just endure down here. So anything that you get for yourself is just for you. Likely they're not taking a cut because they have the fucking location of this place. They'll just fucking turn it into a theme park or something.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like they have the rights to this location.
Right.
If
so
you
we
set
get
up a
whatever we
house down
carry.
here, they won't stop you. But probably if this becomes like an incorporated country at some point, then you'll have to pay taxes.
Right. Okay. But if we find a pile of gold, we can just take it.
Yeah, you
That's
just take
part
it.
of
Like the gold is not worth anything to Raiderade. Like the reason they keep all the base tech is because it's hard to reproduce, and they can like sell it on or use it for their own purposes.
Right.
The thing that is useful to Raiderade down here is they could make a Raiderade theme park that is beneath the earth and has giant insects with radical attitude. Ooh, finger guns.
Right. Well, they haven't quite set up the Hollow Earth Resort yet, so.
Yeah, indeed.
Yet.
They might partner with Disney.
Hollow Earth Disney.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm pretty sure Disney has the rights to Jules Verne shit, so they could literally have a Journey to the Center of the Earth theme park.
Probably.
A Bug's Life with actual giant bugs.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids theme park. I don't know how popular that property still is. Greg's going to go off to the edge of the tip of the lagoon, basically. Is anyone going to go with Greg?
No, I might set up camp, I guess.
Cool.
Well, either way, we're leaving somebody alone. So I'll go with Greg.
Greg can't be physically injured though, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's totally true. Okay, I'll stay with Yuri then.
cool.
Yeah, I think I'll probably climb out of my suit and put the mask on myself and like set up the tents and things.
Yeah, that works. Are you going to set up multiple tents?
Well, yeah, we're not all just bunking in, are we?
I mean, it's up to you. One tent would have saved more space in your car because
I feel like we have like 2 tents because
yeah, Greg
Amriel
could
has a lot of
just
wings.
exist.
yeah, Greg's fine.
Yeah. I used to have a 7-person tent that folded up into about the size of a duffel bag, and that was pretty sizable. So,
Yep.
Journey to the Center of the Earth is owned by Disney because Tokyo Disney Sea has a Journey to the Center of the Earth thing.
All right.
As I expected. Yeah, are you guys going to cut down any trees as you set up your camp?
Do we need to?
Your tents will be kind of separated from one another a bit if you don't, because there's not a lot of clear space. It's more that because there's sort of like palm tree things here and the underbrush has thinned out, there's enough open
Why
space
would we
to set
need
up a
more
tent.
than one tent?
One for Amriel, one
Doesn't it?
for Yuri.
Oh, I,
Just feel like Amriel's reasonably large.
Because
I was
Amriel's
thinking,
got giant wings, so...
true.
and I'm imagining like 1 to 2 person sized tents, not 4-person sized tents.
all right.
Yeah.
We made that mistake before, and you woke up with wing in your face.
yeah.
When you raided that last volcano base
We don't talk about that.
in the prequel adventure that we didn't do.
All right. So yeah, I guess Amriel will try to cut down a tree. Do we have like a multi-tool or an axe or something that I
You've
can?
got a saw-backed machete with the branding of the weird adventure company that you partnered with its impronounceable name.
Oh, that's right.
Ijgalahaukul,
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
Icelandic volcano outdoor clothing and supply. Yeah, we could have gone with the easier pronounced volcano, but we went
Could
for the
have.
one that was in the news and is unpronounceable to our shitty Western English vocal cords. So you cut down a tree with this machete, and it's got like a rough outside, like really strong, kind of woody bark. But the inside is like goop, like a banana tree. It's yeah. So it's got a thick bark like a coconut tree, but then its inside is like the inside of a vine or a grass or bamboo or a banana palm.
Okay.
So there's a lot of your machete's covered in this sticky residue. Yeah. But you've cut it down. And there are kind of sort of football shaped yellowish green coconut type things. You could try and cut one open.
Sure, why not? I'll see what's inside it.
It explodes as you cut it open with the machete with like a red honey substance. And there's pink flesh to the inside of it, and it's more football shaped on the inside. So it's kind of like almost like cutting open a boiled egg where the yolk is still liquid.
Ugh. All right. Well, I'm not gonna like eat anything until Greg tells me I can. But I will collect as much of that goopy inner, football coconut. Red
I guess you
honey
could just
as I can.
keep the rest of the coconuts from this coconut thingies. from the
Yeah.
tree and just not cut them open until Greg gets back.
All right, will do.
So, Greg,
Yes.
after a few, maybe an hour or so of floating, do you float along the shore or do you float over the water? Because you are a disembodied cloud.
I'm going to float along the shore, taking the scenery.
All right, so as you float along the shore, about an hour later, you come to the part where there's kind of a black sandy beach strip, and on one side is the lagoon thing that you're camping on, and on the other side is this boiling mass of water.
Oh,
And it is boiling. And you
Oh
can
my.
smell sulfur as you get closer to it.
Does it look like this might be on top of a volcano? Like a caldera?
Too hard to tell.
Okay. But there's just like a line where the water stops boiling and turns into this lagoon?
Well, there's like a line of black sand. It's like a sandbar separating the two things. It's maybe 30 meters wide. It's generally how lagoons work.
Okay, so there's like, it's getting cooled off over the sandbar and then into the lagoon.
Yeah, it might be filtering through the sandbar too.
Can I take a sample of the sand and analyze it?
Sure, it's just volcanic sand.
Oh,
It doesn't have any unique properties.
interesting. Is the water safe?
The water in the lagoon is slightly more sulfurous than the water in the stream. The water in
Right,
the
okay.
boiling sea is undrinkable.
Okay. Don't drink the boiling seawater.
So, yeah,
Gotcha.
who would have guessed?
Yeah.
Boiling sea, though not very salty, just real sulfurous.
Okay. Good to know.
Also has more ions than you'd expect. That's something.
Okay. Well, if I need iron, I know where to come.
Yeah,
Other than, like rocks and dirt.
probably get more iron out of the volcanic sand
Yeah.
or a competitor's bloodstream.
Oh, yeah. That would be good.
The old iron blood alchemist trick. I transmute all of my blood into guns. Well, then
Too
you
much
die
iron.
immediately.
The Magneto trick.
Yeah, too much iron in your blood.
Exactly. Yeah, okay. So I guess there's not much else here. I'm gonna float back, but I'm going to go up. I'm gonna hover like
Tree canopy.
like tree heights and look out across the canopy and into the lagoon and see if there's anything in the lagoon.
You
Like how
see-
clear is the lagoon water?
You see, pretty clear. As you get back to maybe halfway back to camp, you see a large swarm of jellyfish in there. I mean, they kind of look like jellyfish. They're a little larger than the ones you'd heard of on Earth.
Right.
And they have kind of like stalk things coming up out of their bulbs. They do have tentacles trailing behind them, though.
Okay. Stalks coming out. Okay.
They could be sensor stalks, not eyes, but like they probably have photoreceptive tissue.
Right.
Looks like we're playing D&D again, and we've found a bunch of flumps.
Yeah, found a bunch of flumps.
Do they have legs? Can they get out of the water?
No,
Okay.
you can tell from looking
Well,
at them they would
They don't have
collapse.
legs, but could they get out of the water? Could they? If they really
They-
wanted to?
Okay.
They wouldn't want to.
Basically, I'm looking for anything that might crawl out of the water while we're asleep and kill us.
I mean, there could be a giant crab, but you can't see it.
Damn. Can't see giant enemy crabs. All right.
Nope.
Yeah.
Just
I'm gonna.
like
I'll-
if you try to sleep, if there's an enemy nearby, you'll get that Elder Scrolls warning.
Oh, okay. Oh, you can't sleep because there's an enemy nearby.
Yeah. or
Nice, okay.
similar warning in Minecraft.
Okay. Yeah, I'll float back to camp. You can drink the lagoon water, but it might be a little sulfurous. But do not drink the boiling ocean water.
We'll have to restrain ourselves.
I've always wanted to drink the water of boiling sea. Drats.
It would be quite toxic.
Usually I force other people to drink boiling toxic substances. So.
Well, now there's some within in easy reach.
Keep that in mind, in case the Valkyrs come calling. What about these things, Greg? What do you make of these? And I hold up one of the coconuts.
Is there plant life on Greg's homeworld?
Yes. I think it's mainly like lichen and low scrub plants because of all the winds. So there's not like big trees.
This looks like the berry of like a shrub that grows back on your homeworld, but much larger.
Oh. Can I take a sample of it and see if it's toxic?
Yeah, they've cut one open.
Yeah, Greg scoops out some berry goo.
The flesh of the coconut has arsenic in it, but not in any concentration higher than apple seeds.
Okay.
The honey filling actually has a wide variety of vitamins in it. It's very nutritious. It also has a lot of protein. This is a complete food.
Oh, the honey or the whole thing with the fruit and everything.
The honey, in particular. Although the flesh of it the inner flesh also has a lot of nutrition to it. It's just that the weird red honey, in particular, is very, very nutritious. It's like cockroach milk.
It's like what?
Cockroach milk.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Cockroach milk is a complete food.
Oh, you mean like literal cockroach milk?
Yeah, cockroaches make milk.
Okay.
Huh.
To feed their young, I believe. They excrete it.
Oh, well, okay.
We'll all be
Brexit.
drinking it in like 50 years. They'll be putting it in the water supply.
Yeah. Yeah, you might want to avoid the fruit. It has traces of arsenic, but this gooey interior is quite healthy and nutritious.
All right. In that case, I will be brave and like dip in a clawed finger and try it. How does it taste?
It tastes incredibly sour. It's like it's like you've just eaten straight sour sugar.
Oh,
Actually, I guess it tastes like grapefruit honey.
okay.
Because grapefruit's sour, so
Oh, that's very, very tart. Well, if it's really as loaded down with nutrients,
I'm like, wait, I know. And then I get like one of our little camping cups, and then like scoop a bit of the honey, and then get some butch juice, and then just squeeze it in, stir it up a bit.
to mix in some of the energy drink butch juice in there, and then you try it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a kind of soury, molassesy, sugary jam.
Yeah, I imagine it's still just like a molasses texture. Really, it doesn't thin it.
Yeah, it doesn't
Probably
fit it
still
too
awful.
much. But as you mix it, it's like, you reckon you could like use this as a marinade?
Why
Oh
don't you
man, we need to get
add
some wings.
water and boil it.
right. Whatever. We found a superfood. We just need to get it to some people who can make it palatable. We need to
sell
it to
this to
someone.
Raiderade.
Right.
Yeah. How many of these?
Raiderade Health Plus.
How many of these coconuts are there?
I mean, there's a bunch of palm trees around you. You're basically in a section of the forest that is of the jungle that is palm trees.
Gotcha. Okay.
You could just go around and Greg could just go up there and dissolve the bonds holding them onto the tree. You could harvest like 100 in a couple of minutes.
You said they're like football sized?
They're football shaped. They are coconut sized, which is larger than a football.
Wait, when you say football sized, you mean
football
shaped?
Football shaped. I mean
American football?
They are hand egg shaped.
Okay, because I was gonna say, if you meant European football, coconuts are already.
If I'd meant a European football, I would have just said they're spheres.
I know, that's what I realized that.
Why would I have said it that way? Oh, they're football shaped, but they're larger than footballs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Greg's gonna float up and knock a few down from a tree, just like you said. Dissolve the bonds holding them there. Look out below. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Amriel will follow behind and collect them.
Some can be for eating. Some can be for planting.
This is kind of funny. I just found out that Jules Verne wrote a story about oxygen intoxication.
Huh.
Which is funny, seeing that you're in a hollow earth and I've made one of the obstacles oxygen intoxication. Weird. Jules Verne follows me around, apparently. Narratively.
Makes sense.
He's a big fan.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so you guys have like 100 or so of these coconuts, which is about as much as will fit in your boot. If you abandon all your camping gear when this is over.
We could probably just crack them open and take the honey.
You'd need a vessel to keep them in. I mean, Greg could make you like a box to put the honey in, but...
Well, we probably only need a few samples. They would just need to figure out a way to grow them on the surface. Or they could grow...
The coconut, if they're seeds, like most fruit is,
right?
Then
they
you only need to bring back like a couple intact to try and grow, but they grow in an oxygen-rich environment in volcanic soil. So probably have to grow them on like mountains in Hawaii or mountains in New Georgia. You could start a plantation.
Shit.
Welcome to the ethereal spaceport / super coconut plantation.
Yeah.
Oh, friends, we
started
get to
this fine coconut plantation as a means of funding our space program.
We discovered these, which means we get to name them.
That's true, you do. Greg berries.
Nuts. I was going to say ethereal nuts.
Ether nuts?
That's going to be really confusing for people because these nuts are not ethereal.
I mean, grapefruit isn't grapey.
That's true.
True. I do like ethereal nuts.
Not ether nuts?
Ether nuts.
It's because it's like Ethernet.
Yep.
Oh man, get me the ether nuts. I'm gonna ether nut all over the place.
I feel like Ethernut sounds a little too close to euthanize.
Really? Okay.
I guess.
I'm okay with Ethernut, though.
I was thinking Ethernet myself would be the trip up there.
Yeah.
But
they're gonna euthanize him. Oh, well, who wouldn't want to be younger?
I am okay with Ethernuts.
I mean, we could think on it. It might be something inspiring.
We got time.
We've got time. I'm going to enter Ethernut into my notes so that we don't forget that we found these. Ethernut with 2 T's.
Yeah, cool. So
well, 3, I guess.
We just settle into camp, cut the tops off of some of these proprietary ether nuts.
Pour in some
Trademark
butch
pending.
juice.
Pour in some bush juice. Oh man, I feel like they'd make really good cocktails.
Did you?
Just, like,
you
cut
didn't
open this
bring
giant
any
red nut.
alcohol, but Greg could
But
make
Greg,
some.
I think.
Greg could make pure ethanol.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of don't want to see any booze for at least a couple of weeks after the
Oh,
day.
come on, hair of the dog, Emriel.
Ah.
It might
Coconut.
be best if we.
Coconut of the bush. Hair of the coconut. I don't know. You know what I mean. When in the hollow
Perhaps
earth.
we should.
Do as the Hollow Earthicans do.
Well, we have yet to encounter any natives, and we do know that there are adversarial teams out there. It might be best for us to stay sharp.
All right.
Plus, we have not eliminated the possibility of creatures climbing out of this lagoon and trying to kill us in our sleep.
Yeah, fair.
All right.
Bush juice and ether nut it is.
Yeah, tell you what, when we get out of the Hollow Earth, I owe you one. We'll go for a round. We can see what we can try to ferment out of this gook.
Out of character, I would assume that we have, like, freeze-dried food in our camping equipment.
Yes, you have gourmet freeze-dried food packets that the camping supply people gave you, as well as like full sets of cool hiking clothes. They gave you like a winter set and a summer set because like you were in Iceland, but they said you were going into a tropical jungle. But at the same time, who knows what conditions would be like?
Right. Well, actually, you know what? Better off saving the food for when we don't have natural.
Complete fruit coconuts.
Yeah.
Right.
Indeed.
Yeah, and I might just water it down with a bit of the tepid lake,
Yeah. It's real sour
Just so
when
we
you
can-
just
just so we can
water
drink it through a
with water.
straw.
Yeah.
No, a bit of butch juice.
Also, butch
tepid
juice,
lake.
which is really like a syrup.
Mhm.
The fucking honey
Honey.
and the red honey, I suppose, and the and a bit of the water from the lake. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Just so we can suck it
Yeah.
down.
You water it down, and then you lounge there on the beach, the black sand, in your body with your contorted caricature of a face.
Yep. And some just a
samurai mask of plastic surgery.
casual hiking shirt on and some short shorts.
Oh, we definitely have, like, foldable camp chairs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, with cup holders
just-
that we put our coconuts
course.
in.
And you
Yeah.
just feel the serenity. To
Mhm.
quote a classic Australian film. You relax, and then relax some more, and then you check your watch, and you realize that it's midnight, and it's still bright as fuck. The suns don't set because it's just a luminous ceiling. There is no nighttime here.
Figured.
All right. So I hope someone brought eye masks.
I could make you some.
You're the best, Greg.
You could just fucking wrap you could just put
Yeah, just
a
like
shirt
tie a
on
shirt
your
around your
face.
face.
Yeah.
as you lay in your fucking tent.
I insist that the nanoswarm build me an eye shield.
I do. I make you an eye shield, but it has super cute, girly anime eyes on the outside.
Oh, fine.
Oh.
I'll give my super suit a couple of coconuts to sustain itself. I feel like it still
The-
does that, doesn't it? Doesn't it eat
super
things?
The super suit just takes nutrients from you
Oh, that's right.
because when it's stored, it gets hooked up to IV bags. But I mean, I guess you could have an IV bag. But
Right, no.
otherwise,
No, it's-
otherwise, it'll just take nutrients from you when you put it on.
Mhm.
That's
No,
kind
but
of
Fury
wait.
powered.
when we're all basking in deck chairs on the beach, we also have the super suit in its own deck chair, like just sitting there with a coconut and a straw in its lap,
Nice.
head sort of lolling slightly.
Brilliant. As the super suit bakes in the heat. It's like, I can't take in these nutrients.
Like when I get up, I like slap it on the shoulder, and I'm like, "Don't stay up too late, buddy."
It just slumps over.
You put it on tomorrow morning and you immediately feel dehydrated. You're like, hey, what gives? Like, you left me to bake in the sun for 24 hours. What did you think was going to happen? Mind you, that quickly solved. You just go out into the water.
Yeah, luckily we have a tepid lagoon full of mostly drinkable water and some jellyfish.
Are we taking watch?
I think we should.
Does Greg need a rest cycle?
Yeah, we've said that Greg goes to a
Needs
low
to.
power mode.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So, who takes first watch?
Huh?
I mean, the
Greg,
suit
I will.
can see, but it can't alert you guys. So,
Yeah.
I'll stay up for a bit with the suit.
do you talk to the suit on your watch? Do you just
Yeah,
have a
totally.
one-sided convo with the suit?
I do.
Ask the suit about its wife and kids.
Yeah.
Talk about your time playing high school ball. How's that old knee injury, suit? Who takes second watch?
Greg will.
Does Greg talk to the suit?
Can Greg interface with the suits?
No, the suit is designed to interface with an organic.
Right. It has to be
nervous-
organic. Then no.
I feel like the Greg and the suit have a kind of awkward silence. Like, I get up to leave and swap watch with Greg, and I'm like, boy, he's talkative tonight.
Oh.
And then Greg goes and just like floats in the chair, and you just kind of have this weird thing where you feel like Greg is like side eyes the suit, and the suit just like sits there side eyeing Greg. You just have this bit where they're like, So
How about that weather?
Suit says nothing as you realize you're talking to a effectively inanimate object.
Yeah.
You don't understand human whimsy.
It's as confusing and conflicting as walls. Why do they not just say what they mean? It makes no sense.
Do you wake up Emriel?
Yeah, when it's her time, sure.
Emriel, what do you do with your watch? Seeing as you've got the last watch, you could make breakfast.
Sure. I will start mixing up more of the red honey cocktails for everybody.
You guys are just going to have mocktails,
liquid breakfast,
mocktails for the rest of this adventure?
Well, I think
caffeine,
that,
caffeine, and a whole food honey.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yep.
I think that that Yuri is right. Finn had a good point in that we should save our freeze-dried actual food for when we can't live off the land.
That was my idea, but yeah, it was a good idea.
Burn.
I may do so myself.
It was pretty genius.
I forgot who said it, but yeah. The Boy
Probably
Scout.
about halfway into your watch, Amriel, just as you're thinking about, making some more mocktails, you see a large, feathered bipedal thing, just walking through the palm trees on the other side of your car.
Okay, I'm going to stay as still as I possibly can and watch it and see what it does.
It's about, it's larger than an ostrich. It's probably about 3 meters tall. It's got, lots of blue, light blue, sky blue feathers. And, a lot of yellow feathers on its head. And a large kind of peanut-shaped, de-shelled peanut-shaped beak. And it looks mostly like a bird. Like an oversized cassowary with no helmet,
Okay.
maybe.
Oh, cassowaries are the worst.
And it's just picking through the underbrush, and then you see it like smack its large beak on the tree, and then one of the coconut things falls down, and it like grabs it in its jaw and like tears the husk off, and then it like starts smashing the coconut thing, and then it cracks open, and then it kind of starts licking up the honey with its weird tongue.
Ugh.
A
If
very
you want to make some
worm-like
real
tongue.
breakfast, you can make some bacon.
Some turkey bacon.
Yeah.
All right. Amriel is going to manifest her Gladius. Kind of maybe like behind her back, where the licking flames won't be as easily noticeable.
I mean, you're also behind the car, so
Yeah. And then as it's eating, I'll leap into the air, swoop down, and cut its head off and see what happens.
so you're
then.
going for speed rather than stealth.
Yeah.
Make me a flight check then.
Okay. Let's see.
There is a difficulty.
Okay. That is at +5 at Ascendant tier.
Well, you definitely beat the terror bird.
It was a terror bird.
That's what I was just thinking. I was like,
As
it
you like
sounds in my head like a
slice off
turbo.
its neck. And the loud thud of a neck of meat slamming to the ground, and then the thump of the body collapsing under its own weight. And now you've got a bird.
Hooray!
And a seared neck wound.
Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna like. Maybe I'll like pluck its feathers and like prep it for cooking, but I won't actually cook it until Greg wakes up and.
This is a big bird. It's gonna take a while to pluck all of its feathers.
Okay. Well, I'm halfway through my shift, so I'll pluck and keep watch at the same time.
Do you want to start with the head or the torso? The head.
The torso.
Okay, so the torso. All right, so you just got the head and neck there, and you start plucking one side of this bird.
I
And
imagine
then-
it's like, a few hours later, Yuri like stumbles out of his tent.
And there's
Finds
just
Amriel
feathers
sitting beside
everywhere.
a giant, just feathers everywhere, and then Amriel sitting over like a cow-sized neck, like roast chicken, essentially,
Yeah.
but like raw.
Yeah, indeed.
So I'm
Big
like, hey,
pterosaur there.
Morning.
and I'm like, we get to try out that wings recipe.
Apparently so.
Greg comes out of the other tent. Oh my. Are you molting, Amriel?
No.
Oh,
had a
I did
little-
not see the bird corpse. I apologize.
Yeah, we had a visitor in the night. Didn't look like it was gonna hurt anybody, but I figured maybe since it was eating something that we could eat, it might have comparable physiology, and we could eat it.
Would you like me to test the safety of the meat?
You're the man, fart man. Go ahead.
All
As
right,
long
I'm
as you
going-
pull out all of its organs, it should be fine to eat.
Oh, you can't eat the organs?
You can't normally eat organs.
True.
Gut and
No
stuff,
giblets.
The meat is fine. Just don't eat the organs.
Organs of
Alright.
birds, in particular, are not things that human beings normally eat.
Except livers. Is the liver good? We can make
That's
some pate.
You could
Livers.
you can make some giant terror bird.
Pate.
Dude.
Yeah.
What about can I analyze the feathers? Is there anything like do they have good insulating properties or anything that might
If
be useful?
anything, you'd want them to be not insulating because of how warm it is down here.
True.
Yeah, no, there's no special properties to the feathers other than
Just
they
feathers.
you know,
They're
look
Uh,
nice.
Meanwhile, Yuri cracks open like half a dozen coconuts and empties like a 6-pack of butch juice into a bucket,
Mm-hmm.
preparing it to lather up some of the wings and the drumsticks.
Sure. And then you guys cook this giant bird. Takes like probably an hour to cook it. Although you probably cut it up.
Yeah, we
into
cut like the.
sections.
We'll cook not all of it. We'll cook its wings and its drumsticks in a
pretty
spit
much
roast
have to
style.
cook all of it, or it goes to waste. So like you might as well cook it all this morning, and then you can.
Well, I was going to say, while they're eating it, could Greg suck the moisture out of the rest of it?
You are going to try and
Preserve it.
dehydrate it.
Yeah. So we could preserve it and then rehydrate it
Are
when we
you
want to
going
cook it.
to put a marinade on it, then dehydrate it, so that it has a flavor to it?
I suppose that's up to them.
Terror bird jerky.
Yeah, we
We
have this
could make
butch
terror
juice.
bird jerky, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you
Do it.
try it with the marinade first and see how it
No,
tastes?
both. We got to try it grilled, and then we'll try it jerky.
Yeah, we're experimenting here.
All right.
We're gonna open
so,
a product line when this is done.
Yodel in the chat makes a good point after being very excited about you guys marinating the giant bird in a mocktail. That due to the fact that the coconut flesh has a higher amount of arsenic, and due to
Right, it might have
biomagnification, the liver of the terror bird probably has a high amount of arsenic in it.
Mhm,
All right.
mhm.
So no
So-
pate.
only
No
give
pate.
liver bird pate to people you want to kill.
Yeah. Or and no giblet gravy either.
Mm. Well, we're not really in a gravy situation right now.
No.
Don't have
no.
And maybe we could cut some of the breast off and like wrap them up in cling wrap and dunk them in the boiling lake. Get them
You want to poach?
nice and poached breasts.
Yeah.
There's no reason you couldn't do that.
What if we wrap them in the palm leaves from the tree?
Oh.
But isn't the boiling lake still toxic?
Yeah, it's got fucking sulfur in it. You don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
any
Yeah,
of that.
Fart breasts.
You could do palm leaves then glad wrap, which would reduce the likelihood of the cling film melting onto your.
Or we could just boil water.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
But we
The meat
cook it,
after
we
it's
jerkify
cooked
and cook
has-
the jerky.
it has kind of a plum saucy flavor to it when all is done. It's got a little bit of sour and a bit of sweet to it. Almost like kind of like a sweet and sour sauce, but with a lot more plum to it.
Okay. Okay. So while they're chowing down, Greg's going to make jerky out of the rest of it.
Yeah, so I'm going to say you need to roll because you're trying to
Okay.
just suck out water molecules from a
That's
thing.
fair.
Yodel
plus-
requests a cooking show all about the Hollow Earth. We might have to do that fiasco place. Actually, it wouldn't be a fiasco place. It'd just be another fake game. You are chefs. You are coming to the Hollow Earth.
That's the adventure base rating spin-off is Iron Chef Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Today's secret ingredient:
Terrorbird.
nuts.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
Brown.
Today's special ingredient is snake ants.
I was gonna say
Snaps.
Alton
Snaps.
Brown rides in on a giant beetle.
Yeah. Samurai beetle.
I got a +3 to jerky the meat.
Brilliant. That's enough. You managed to suck the water out with not exploding the cells or anything.
All right, so now we've got a trunk full of superfood coconuts and terror bird
Terror
jerky.
jerky.
It's been a good session for you guys. And were you going to set out for the bunker today?
Well, you said the electromagnetic signature was in that direction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Greg's going to get out the drone and have it follow us so we can get a better measurement of like where to go.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what time is it in New York? Just so that I know how much time I have to work with.
10:22.
Oh, I thought it would be like 11 something. All right, cool. So this will probably be the last kind of thing we'll do before we wrap this session,
Yep.
and then we'll do the last 3 days, 3.5 next run. So you guys are gonna. Do you want to pack up your camp, or are you just gonna risk it for the biscuit?
It's like a. Well, if it's like a day's drive away, how far is it to walk? Like a few hours, or like
It's gonna take you
half
like
a day?
maybe 3 hours to walk there. It's just because the trees are so thick, it would just be next to impossible to drive.
Um,
Why don't we
yeah, I
pack
feel like
everything
we should
up?
just leave it. Yeah,
Well, yeah, what I was gonna say is pack it up and put it back in the car, so at least we can lock it up,
yeah.
and then leave it.
I mean, it's
Just so a
you don't want
Terror
animals.
doesn't come and tear our
Yeah.
tents up.
Another terror
Yeah.
bird ripping apart your tent for your plan. Why is my mate's feathers everywhere? I smell my mate nearby.
Oh no!
And something
is this?
delicious.
What
too.
is this delicious meat strip?
And then they'll start doing some kind of bush turkey shit and just rake a giant mound.
Yeah, indeed. Damn bush turkeys.
Fucking terror turkeys.
So you guys grab some jerky and some machetes, I imagine.
And I imagine this like the jerky that we have is like forearm length shards kind of thing, spears of jerky.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it'd be more like Butong, but even then it'd be giant. Because Greg wouldn't have the same limitations that a traditional jerking process has. So he
Yeah.
would be able to pull
There's just a
moisture
flight
out of
of
large
jerky.
pieces. Yeah, he could basically jerk an entire intact piece of meat.
Oh yeah, he could jerk it great.
Yeah, man, jerking so hard. So
So we set out with like giant shards of jerky in our hands with a coconut and straws.
yeah.
Well, you could cut the jerky.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
He's just gonna just gnaw on it. He's gonna
Just want to
make
gnaw
his
on a
mask
big
peel open its face.
Mhm.
Make his armor
suck
peel
on it
its
like a
face.
giant freakish insect.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of those around here.
You're not wrong. You guys see a few like it's interesting. You do see other birds, smaller birds. You do see a few more of the pterosaur, terror birds. I keep saying pterosaurs, but pterosaurs are pterodactyls. Terror birds are terror birds. So you see a few more birds, but and a few more terror birds, but most of the birds are small. All the birds you see are flightless. The only flying things you see are dragonfly looking things, but with more like scorpion tails. So, none of them are trying to attack you or anything. You do see one impale a grub slug looking thing. Like a caterpillar for our Americans. Like a witchetty grub for our Australians. Right, it's a bit more bulbous, a bit more
Like a
engorged.
giant maggot.
Like a giant maggot, but fatter. Like a even though it's giant, fatter. Like like a
How big
brain
are the-
bug from Starship Troopers, but the size of a motorbike.
How big are the dragonfly thingies?
The dragonfly thingies about the size of a car.
Oh wow, okay.
They're bigger than the grubs, and it just sort of impales it on its scorpion tail, and then just buzzes off into a tree. And
it
you've sort of
takes
come.
it?
Sorry.
It takes it.
Yeah, it takes it with it.
Oh,
It doesn't grab it in its legs. It just skewers it onto its tail. It only flies a short distance away because it would throw off its aerodynamics, and it like sits in a tree, like in the Y of a tree. What is that called?
the crotch.
Yeah, the crotch of a tree, right in the groin of the tree. Yeah. The jungle around you has sort of changed into almost like kind of gnarled oak tree looking things, but with fern like leaves to them. And again, yellow, lots of yellow. Rather than green. And then you come to a road. A worn dirt track, but it's worn like You can sort of see two, like, almost like a cars have driven over this over and over and over again, and then it's sort of become more worn by feet, and then it's sort of become covered again. But there's only like small grass, like pink grass, like lawn type grass growing here. Very little of it though. Like this track clearly gets used, but you just sort of walk onto it. Clearly artificial. I was going to say man-made, but let's not throw it away too soon. And you are closer to the bunker, so it might lead straight to the bunker, but like it would take you forever to get your car over here. But you found a road now.
Oh, this will make it easier to get there.
Let's cautiously approach this bunker. It didn't have any vegetation growing on it, so I feel like I have a sinking suspicion that it's probably still in use by somebody.
What if we stayed in the woods for cover, but followed the road to lead to the bunker?
It's up to you. Probably make you the walk longer, but...
Well, Greg is proposing that idea.
It's up to the other two. I'm not a player.
It's a team.
That if we follow the road.
Yeah, but walk in the woods and follow the road rather than walk on the road itself.
Depends how stealthy we want to be.
Why? Like, I mean, it is possible, but I don't imagine anyone's just going to come rolling up on us all of a sudden.
Okay.
Maybe. Well, they might. But
I mean, you're also super beings, so, you know.
Exactly. We can.
You're in a demon suit, you have a demon, you're in an incorporeal cloud.
That's true. You two have much more to worry about being hit by a car than I do.
And you've still got some boost patches left. As well.
We do. I can spot from the air if we want.
You've also got your drone.
Yeah.
So if we see something coming, we can always scramble off the road and into hiding.
Oh yeah, with the drone, are we getting closer to that electromagnetic source?
Yes, you are. And you also notice that someone is broadcasting something.
Oh. Yeah. Can I see what they're broadcasting? Can I listen in on it?
Yes. It's actually two signals you realize are kind of becoming interfered with one another. There's a really strong signal coming from the south that you're picking up. And you recognize the language, although you don't speak it, because it is not an Earth language, but it is one you heard before. The Valkyries are talking. They have set up a powerful comm, and they've broken up into teams and spread out, is the best you can get. And the other signal you're getting, sound that's sort of interfering with it, more low power, sounds like Russian?
What are they saying?
They seem to be talking about food and harvest and watching out for the newcomers.
It's not Nazis. It's Soviets.
Yep. Since this is not the first time I've heard the Valkyrs' language and everything, can I try to decipher it? Is that possible?
Yeah, if you listen into their radio, you might be able to work out what they're doing. You do have some prior context, so a language roll.
I'm going to language. I think it's part of my super.
You have it as part of your super scientist thing.
I do.
You have trapping that lets you know all Earth languages.
That's true.
And then I'm like, well, I know the way around that.
Oh, well, I rolled -3, so that puts me at +1. But I am going to invoke my smartest cloud in the room aspects.
Yeah, you're the smartest cloud in the room.
Yeah, which puts me at +3.
So, you managed to pick out some. You now definitely know their numeral system. It's base 12. So there's that.
Oh, okay.
And you are getting some of their base words. You've worked out the word for team, which is good. They're
Okay.
broken up into 3 teams.
And there's what, 6 of them?
And there's 6 of them. One team is at base, and the other 2 teams are advancing through the forest looking for something. You haven't quite been able to work out what it is, but it seems whatever it is, their language has a word for it, so there's that.
Okay. Are they
But it's a
heading
noun,
toward-
so it's hard to work out what a noun means
Right.
from just listening to it.
Are they... Do they mention anything about like the building or the bunker or the structure or anything?
No, not at all.
Okay.
They're probably still near where they left, near where they arrived, because you fucked their vehicle, and they didn't bring motorcycles like the other team.
I will relay. So the Valkyrs are broadcasting. They've split into 3 teams, and they're looking for something. I don't know what, though. I am starting to decipher their language, though.
Well, that's good. Maybe we should keep an ear on them.
Okay. Yes, I can do that.
You can make another language
Um,
roll as you guys continue walking towards
Oh,
the...
and I will also mention the Russian about... Can I, triangulate where the signal is coming from? Like, is the Russian signal coming from...
as
the
you
bunker
get closer to the
area?
bunker, the Russian interference gets stronger, so it's possibly that where the Valkyries are, it's not interfering with their comms at all, because they don't make note of it in their communication. It's just because you're in an overlap zone.
Okay, so we're... Yeah,
You're definitely getting closer to the Russian comms.
right, okay.
So
But without an extra point of contact.
You can't tell. But it's...
Yeah.
So the Russian is starting to drown out the Valkyrs more.
Yes, indeed.
But,
Which is why I will
okay,
let you make one more language roll. Finn?
Amriel, could you carry me up into the sky a little bit so I could have a look around for the electromagnetic signal, maybe?
Yes, you might be able to see it with your eyes.
Sure.
Slash, I might
I got-
see something else of interest. Who knows?
It would be hard for you to see radio waves because they're not super densely packed. But
Yeah.
they mentioned that the EM field
it was
that they
local. Yeah.
it was powerful, but not extensive. So it would be possible for you to spot it with your eyes.
All right. Do I need to make a check for that since I'm carrying him, or
No, there's nothing attacking you. So
Okay. So yeah, I will. I
Cool.
will
And yeah,
carry
then
you.
I'll and then from this sort of slight height, I just want to scan through all of the available spectrums.
your
Mostly
suit
looking for,
overlays
yeah,
all
that-
spectrums at once. Basically, it cancels out anything that isn't interesting. So it would remove.
Just universal background static and stuff.
It doesn't show you universal background radiation because that's not useful for you to see.
Yeah.
Although I guess it would be useful if you were trying to use it as a negative space, is something displacing background radiation, but for the most part, it
In
cancels out
context kind of
shit
thing.
of, the suit handles stuff that isn't useful. Otherwise, awareness roll, or notice rather.
Yeah, and because I'm mostly looking for, wherever the
Something
electromagnetic
that
signal
stands
is, and
out.
if there's any strong infrareds of people or anything in the nearby forest.
People wouldn't show up on infrared like that. I know what you mean, though.
Um,
No predator vision
Interesting.
like that.
Predator vision is heat vision, and it works. Thermoptic cameras work different to infrared cameras, even though, you wouldn't have enough range to see heat.
yeah,
You'd have enough range to see infrared bounce back, but that wouldn't help you in the tropical jungle.
Mm.
It kind of look like a sea of white.
3 notice.
3 notice.
Yep.
Yeah, you see, looks like a shining jewel in the distance. And you think that is probably the EM thing. Your suit tells you that it's a lot of ultraviolet and gamma, so it's towards that end of the spectrum as opposed to infrared, for example. Or infrared microwave radio wave is at the
Lower.
is above human perception, and gamma and ultraviolet is below the range that human perception works in.
Yep.
If that
Yep.
makes sense. If you have a vague
In
understanding
wavelength,
of-
in the
Yeah.
broader.
I
rather
can't
than
remember
narrower.
which one is wide and which one is short. I'm pretty sure radio and infrared is shorter bandwidth, shorter wavelength, and
No, I think
ultraviolet and gamma
No, I
is
think,
longer.
I think it's
No,
the other way.
Yeah,
The other way around.
Energy, the
That's
higher
the
reds
other
are
way.
longer, blue's
Yeah.
higher. Yeah.
The point is that the way it is presented on the visual, on the EM chart, is that it starts at like infrared and radio and all that,
Yeah.
and then goes down to visual spectrum, and then at the bottom of visual spectrum is violet, and then ultraviolet, and then other shit, and then gamma.
Other shit, then gamma all the way there. Yep.
Yeah. I can't remember what's between ultraviolet and gamma. I know there are other things.
X-rays.
All of the other stuff.
X-rays. That's it.
Cool. So it's a shining jewel
Of gamma, X-ray, and
at
ultraviolet
the
radio.
bunker, or
No, it's sort of to the right of the bunker. It almost looks like it's embedded in the wall, but not. It's hard to tell because you're seeing radiation come through other things.
yep. But essentially, it's like adjacent to the bunker.
It's within like an hour's walk of the bunker. So if
Yep.
it's a big structure, then you would notice it.
Yep.
And you don't. You definitely don't see a structure.
Is the bunker like
And it's-
attached to a mountain or something?
Yeah, basically, it's like they've built this. It's kind of halfway between a bunker and like a high rise, not a skyscraper, but a high rise. So like a 30 floor building.
Okay.
And can I tell from this radiation if that signature is like above ground or if it's below?
It could be like in a shallow cave.
Yeah, but it's not like buried in something. It's not like
not very
underground.
far. If it is a man-made thing, then it is close to the surface.
Okay, cool. Well,
your
we can,
suit
we can
doesn't
try and head there.
recognize the particular signature either, although
Yep.
it doesn't match anything in its database, which at least tells you it's not an ideal item.
Mhm.
The ideal being the Justice League equivalent in Base Raiders, if you are a new listener.
Cool. So maybe if we head there, I can see where it's coming from. So if we head there rather than towards the bunker, maybe first,
Sure.
because the bunker's seeming increasingly questionable.
So you want to try and
We in
scoot
agreement?
around the bunker?
Yeah.
Amriel, you okay with that plan?
Yeah, sounds good. I don't want to tango with any angry Russians if we don't have to.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess did they sound kind of chill on the radio, Greg?
Did they?
They didn't sound particularly angry. Like the radio call you heard was, base. How did it go? Beware. Try and steer clear of the new arrivals, and just focus on the harvest.
Yeah.
No,
So
they
let's.
seem, yeah. Well, it seems like they know we're here.
And they want to avoid us.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So we can do them the courtesy of avoiding them too.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll return the favor.
Does anyone have a navigate skill? Is that a thing?
I think it is. Yes.
I don't think I do.
I don't think I do
I
either.
have notice.
No, it's not notice. I think navigate is one of those skills that sometimes becomes.
Well, I have drive, which has transport and information.
Yeah, I'll let you use
Uh,
that
I
as
have
a sort of a
information,
navigate
yeah.
for
I
us.
think there was maybe a navigate skill, but I can't.
I think it's part of the outdoors one. You know how some of the
Yeah,
skills
survival.
have other skills within them? So it's like,
Yeah.
why would I
Yeah.
not just get science when it gives me first aid? I don't have the base raiders books up, and I don't really.
Well,
Yeah,
the skills
I'll-
have trappings in them, which give you stuff.
Yeah.
I'll look it
But I don't
up.
think there's a navigate trapping.
Yeah. If there. Yeah, anyway,
Use drive.
Yeah, go for use drive because it has information as a trapping.
4.
So you realize that you have to jump off this road because it's going to lead you straight to their bunker.
Yep.
And you start walking through the forest, and then you come to another one of their roads, and then you cross it. And then you get really, really close after a while as you start to turn towards where you think the gem is. You see off maybe 100 meters through the trees, you see like a shitty... someone's just planted tree saplings, basically, to make a low wall.
Yep.
And then beyond it, there's like organized rows of palm trees, and between them some kind of fern. Yellow-looking fern thing.
Cool.
So it's like row of palm trees, row of ferns, row of palm trees, row of ferns. So they're kind of getting
It's a farm.
bit of a companion farm thing going.
Cool.
The palm trees have low footprints at ground level, and the fern trees have a high footprint. So
Maybe we
you
should
can
hit these
kind of
people up
lay
about some tips for growing up palm trees when we get back.
But you manage to skirt around them, and then you start creeping up towards the edge of the wall, and you come to the edge of the forest, and across this expanse of open ground where there's sort of grass growing. You see a sort of, looks like a watchtower made out of wood, and there's a staircase carved into the rock behind it that switchbacks up the cliff face to a cave that is covered by like a wooden frame and some makeshift wooden doors.
Is that where the shiny thing is?
You can see it. It's almost blinding.
Mm-hmm.
And at this range, you actually notice it's pulsing. It's constantly putting out gamma rays, but it's pulsing X-rays, and at a higher frequency, it's pulsing ultraviolet.
Is it pumping out enough like radiation that it's going to fuck us up if we get anywhere near it?
No, your suit would have given you a warning by now if it was going to cook you. It's enough that you can
But if
see
we
it.
if we get closer,
Maybe if you were right next to it, it would be a risk. It wouldn't be a risk for you and your suit, because your suit is radiation protection.
yep. And Greg's just
Because,
insurance
weirdly enough,
and-
portals between universes have a lot of radiation.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, weird.
Okay, cool. Well, the main radiation thing's up there, guys.
Oh, well, we should probably check it out.
You see a man leaning on the wall of the of the watchtower, and he's sort of leaning with his back away from you. With his back towards you, and it looks like he's talking to someone. Greg, you can tell that they're talking in Russian.
Let's go say hi.
Well, does he seem like a guard, or is he just chilling?
They are probably guards, but like they don't probably haven't ever had to worry about anyone coming here.
Yeah. We might want to be cautious. They do seem to be guards.
Well, I mean, we could just ignore them. But I feel like they might be open to reason. /
Yes,
us
quite
stealing
possible.
whatever artifact that they deeply treasure, I assume.
Or they're definitely guarding something.
Maybe you should go talk to them, Greg, because you're insubstantial. You won't, if they have guns or any kind of weapons up there.
Greg can use his hologram to look like a person too, so he doesn't terrify
It's true.
them.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna turn on a hollow Bowie.
David Bowie.
and go walking
From
up
the
to them.
2017 RPG Base Raiders.
And I'm going to walk up to them and say in Russian, I'm going to have my hands visible in a non-threatening way and say, greetings, friends.
And the guy sort of turns around, is like, looks a bit shocked, but doesn't do anything with most of his body. Like, his face has a shocked expression, and then he lazily reaches for a rifle and brings it up and points at you from the hip, and it shouts back, "Hey, you can't be here, man."
Oh, we just wanted to investigate this cabin.
Yeah, no, sorry, we can't.
Why
Which
not?
team are you with? You don't. Are you one of the? You got a weird outfit on, man. Did they? Where'd you find those clothes?
Oh, no, this is a hollow emitter.
What? Sorry. A light what now? Because it would be in Russian, so I imagine they don't have the word hollow.
Yeah. And they are unique.
What do you mean light image?
They're made. It is difficult to explain.
Look, man, you better just go back to your work detail, okay? And talk to. You're not allowed to be out here. You know that.
Oh, yes. My apologies.
At the moment, he thinks that you're one of his people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to walk away, go back to the two of them, and say, "Oh, they seemingly don't suspect that we are strangers. They thought I was one of them."
They don't suspect you're a stranger. I feel like if they saw us, they might suspect.
True.
Something
I have one
might
idea. Can I listen into their broadcast again and see if there's any mention of like names? Any names that come up?
So you're listening into their channel, and there's nothing for like a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear from nearby you a signal burst, and you hear, "Yeah, somebody from one of the work details came out to the temple. I shoot him on, but you're probably going to discipline him. The guy with the new clothes. So just keep an eye out for that." It's like, and then the signal comes back. Okay. I don't know who you're talking about. I was like, I didn't get his name. I just sent him on his way. Yeah. The guy with the new clothes. How do they have new clothes? Anton? We've been wearing the same clothes since we got here. Who the hell has new clothes? Well, I'm just telling you what I saw, right? This guy with the new clothes. And you're sure that he was one of us, Anton, and not, say, one of the newcomers that burst through the wall yesterday? Like, I suppose could have been one of the newcomers. I didn't really think about that. Like, nice work, Anton. Nice work.
Okay. Did they mention any other names?
No, that was the entire conversation that those two had with each other.
Okay. Because I'm thinking what I want to try to do is trick them. So now I know Anton's name. Greg is not great at lying. In fact, he does have deceit, actually.
Indeed.
So, Greg reaches inside himself and adjusts his hollow emitter to that of the male nurse.
Yep.
But can I set the clothes to something?
You'll have to take time to program new clothes.
Yeah. Okay. So the male nurse is just wearing like nurse's scrubs, right?
Yeah, they were red, if I remember correctly. They were red
Yeah.
scrubs. The soldiers are wearing like a dark brown, worn clothes. They look like they've been ripped and re-sewn multiple times.
Yeah. How long would it take me to program new ones?
I would say it would be like an hour.
Do you guys want to wait, or should we try something else?
I mean, you've got 4 days here.
Yeah, I think we can spare an hour.
Yuri sounds unconvinced. Yuri's not
Yuri
a fan
like
of
slumps down on a tree and sulks, crossed his arms. He's like, fine.
I mean, the other option is we go and we get Anton.
We walk straight the fuck in there.
Yeah.
We
You
cause a
don't know
bunch
if
of
there were
trouble.
more people up on that tower. It looks like it could fit 2 or 3 people up there. You only saw Anton.
Yeah.
I mean, I could distract them while you guys sneak up and maybe take their shit while they're shooting at
Oh,
me.
wait, no, I have a better idea. Instead of spending an hour to make to reprogram the hollow emitter, Greg is going to take time to turn some of the dirt around them into a glass vial containing a potent knockout gas.
All right, you put some chloroform in a glass vial.
Yeah, I'm making a grenade that Amriel can throw that will shatter at Anton's feet and he'll pass out. Essentially,
Yep.
is what I'm trying to do.
Sure, go for it. That'll take you like a half hour.
Save some time.
+5.
Yep, cool. Let's say 10 minutes then.
All right.
The chemical in the soils lends itself to this. There's enough silicates that it's easy to make the glass. You don't have to do any alchemy.
All right, so I floated up to Amriel and say, "Here, shatter this at Anton's feet, and he will be unconscious in seconds."
Okay. Just in case there are more people up there with more guns, why don't you guys stealth up while I'm...
This would be
doing that.
enough to knock out a room full of people.
Okay.
So
Oh, okay.
All right. So
if there's another person up there, it'll work.
in that case,
So I figured
yeah.
like Amriel could just lie up and drop it like a bomb.
Yeah, it'll be a flight check, because you've got to move quickly before they shoot you.
Or throw, however you want to do it. I don't care.
I will do that. Let's see. Amriel kicks off into the sky, flaps her wings, and gets ready. Lines herself up for the run. And I'm going to spend a fate point to re-roll that.
Lines yourself
What
up for the
aspect
run
are you
and drops the
invoking?
ball.
I'm going to go with Fallen Legionary because I feel like when you've got winged legionaries, dropping things on people is a good strategy. So it's probably something she's practiced before.
You were in the airborne wing. You weren't one of those ogre demons that are just big and muscly.
No
All right.
finesse on those guys.
That's a +3.
So you throw it at the feet of the 2 guards, you see, and they both sort of gasp and fall over, hitting their heads on the wooden floors. And then I suppose you guys run up the stairs.
Amriel will fan her, flap her wings to clear away the knockout gas.
So the watchtower is ahead of where the staircase begins, so you don't actually go into the watchtower. The staircase is cut into the rock. The staircase was pre-existing. The wooden watchtower was built afterwards, and the wooden door, as you get up to it, you realize was added on by these people.
The door was added to the stairs.
The door was added to the cave, basically. So you get to the top of the stairs, which are just exposed. They're cut into the rock. And then there's a cave, and over the cave, they've built like a wooden door.
Gotcha.
And you just open the door, and then inside you see this. This is not a natural cave. This has been cut and polished and worked to make it look like a structure. And then inside you see like hieroglyphics and mosaics. And what was... Yeah, it's ugly as sin, so that doesn't matter. But Amriel, you recognize these markings.
Oh.
That's not good.
These are the markings of primitive humans. And you particularly recognize one of the images. It is one of the big 7 archangels.
Oh dear.
Oh, what?
These marks are very old, and I would know that symbol anywhere. It's one of our great enemies. One of the 7 archangels.
Which one?
George.
No, it's Ringo.
This is tempting to open Google Drive because I have them for one of my other games that features archangels.
Oh, there's Gabriel. That's about the extent of my
Yep.
archangel knowledge.
Gabriel is not an archangel.
No?
Oh,
Isn't Michael one of them?
Michael is an archangel.
Lucifer
As
was.
Lucifer was in some versions.
And he tripped and fell out of heaven. Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel, Saraquel, Raguel, and Remiel.
Those are not the 7 that I know, that I am referring to. I'm just trying to find this thing. Google Drive, my drive. Will it work? Yes, it worked! I just tried to Google the 7 and it didn't work for some reason. I was like, fuck. Maybe Drive will work. There we go, Arknight. The 7 in this... Gabriel is actually one of the ones listed.
Bam!
I thought Gabriel wasn't one in this. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Camael, Jophiel, and Zadkiel.
Which one is it?
You recognize this as a depiction of Zadkiel.
Yeah.
Based on what I know from being around in the beginning of the universe, like what does he represent? What is
Zadkiel is considered an
Freedom.
angel of mercy.
Freedom, benevolence, mercy.
Yeah.
And the patron angel of all who forgive.
1 second, my phone's going off.
Sweet, we get a free pass then.
Yeah. All right, so we
Sounds
we
like
go
the patron angel of pushovers.
Ah,
Right.
Zadkiel was said to be the angel who prevented Abraham from sacrificing his son Isaac.
Oh.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Solid.
Maybe we'll get lucky and he won't smite me.
Yeah.
Talking about angels.
Yeah.
Angel stuff.
Yes, so it is a... there's a lot of hieroglyphics sort of things, proto-script, and then there's a big mosaic of Zadkiel.
What's he doing in it? Is it just like a picture of him?
He's just there. It's an interesting depiction of Zadkiel as well. It's very close to his true form, you would argue, Amriel, as it
Okay.
is a large, 4-winged being, and 2 of the wings kind of look like bird wings, and 2 of the wings kind of look like moth wings.
So it's a be not afraid angel.
And then it's got a human torso and legs, although the legs look longer than they should be, and with more knees. And the arms split at the elbows. And he's got a head of rings. Zadkiel's head is rings, concentric rings. It's kind of hard to depict in the mosaic. They're kind of just flat and rings around rings around rings in this. You know that if this was perhaps a more modern art piece, the rings would be constantly moving around one another.
Yuri says, Emerald, so you were around when they would have drawn this?
I've been around since the beginning.
Damn, you're a bit of a cougar, aren't you?
Cradle snatcher. Cradle of life.
Wait, Amriel is a cat?
Cat-like.
We're skipping it. We're skipping it,
Wow.
Greg.
Can you read this language?
They seem to be pictograms. That's not really much of a language. It's very primitive.
Can we decipher the pictograms?
Greg can decipher it just by looking at it because it's an Earth language.
Oh, then cool. Greg's going to do that.
It's a proto-language. You recognize it as being extrapolated out into other languages, and there are books and encyclopedias of Proto-Indo-European. So you can work this out.
Do you want me to roll for it?
No, I'm not going to make you roll because your trapping specifically says that you know all Earth languages.
I do.
It takes you a few minutes of study, and then you realize that this is mostly depictions of great acts that this figure did, and how Zadkiel is the true mercy brought before us. They showed us the way to freedom from the oppressor.
Any idea how old this is?
Very.
Like pre-Jewish?
Pre-Egyptian.
Okay.
Pre-Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
if we're going with biblical time, probably around the neighborhood of 3,000 or 4,000 years.
No, older.
No, older than that.
Okay.
Pre-Egyptian, so way older.
Yeah.
Because, Jews fleeing Egypt would have been 3,000 BC.
Jews fleeing Egypt, quote unquote.
Right.
Historical event that never happened.
That's not necessarily true. There
Okay,
are
I'm not
historical
gonna.
records.
this isn't the
Anyway,
place for that argument.
Yeah, so older than Judeo-Christian belief systems.
It's older than. It's Proto-Indo, so
Yes, okay.
it's contemporary to Proto-Indo. It's actually
That's great.
slightly
What's the
sooner.
electromagnetic source? Greg doesn't care about all this human mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, you guys can tell now that you're this close. Behind this large mosaic is the power source, the EM source. It is behind the mosaic, but clearly has a religious significance. Although
So
it does
I will
Smash it!
it does look like no one's been in this room for a while.
Perhaps we should give Amriel the honors.
Well,
And I say the writing is all just glory of Zadkiel.
I feel like we're gonna find an angel corpse. If we happen
If
to find
Zedkill
one,
is as merciful as he says he is, then he'll forgive us for smashing his face.
Perhaps it is a weapon of his, or a hat.
Could be a hat.
angelic
Big shady
hats.
Do you just punch through the mosaic, Emriel?
Yeah. She goes up to it and she kind of reaches out and touches it first.
You feel a familiar sensation, but you're not quite sure. It's like you've been here before, but you know you haven't, is the sensation. Deja vu,
Yeah.
I suppose.
As Emriel has this brief moment where I feel like, she goes in and touches the wall, and then we sort of have this, close in on her face and this sort of, weird resonance. And then it's just hey! And then Yuri just, flies past her and, sidekicks into the wall. Taking too long!
I love it.
We gave you strength, right?
Yeah, the biosuit has, physical force.
Yeah,
We need to get Yuri some Adderall.
So what tier is that at?
Superhuman.
Yeah, you smash straight through it, thus circumventing the puzzle.
There was
I
a puzzle.
solved you, puzzle wall.
There was a puzzle that was only relevant for Amriel.
Sorry.
Well, whatever. It happens.
Yes, the shards of mosaic go everywhere, and the plaster behind crumbles away, and inside is a perfectly round, semi-translucent pearl.
Is it a pearl of wisdom?
About the size of a medicine ball.
Oh,
Do I know what this is?
It could be one of several things, but considering the context, you would guess that that is the heart of an angel.
oh.
I
And
pick it up
now
and like,
you notice
hey, look,
that
Greg, it's about the size of a football, a European football, mind.
the medicine ball is bigger than a ball.
There is various sizes of medicine ball. Do you mean
Oh,
like a
really?
2.5 kilo or a 5
Okay.
kilo?
I meant a
10 kilo.
large one, you know, somewhere between a beach ball and a basketball.
Right. Okay, yeah, that's like a 10 kilo.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, if that is what I think it is, one of you should touch it because
Pick it up.
Wait, so it's either the demon or the demon suit? Probably not the best idea either.
I picked it up.
Ray has muted himself.
Oh no. And credits.
I think we win.
yeah. So it's everything.
Sorry, I was quickly answering a question for somebody. So yes, it is the heart of an angel. But as the mosaic crumbles away, Yuri, your suit is now telling you that all EM is coming off of this thing. And the amount is rising to a point where your human companions, if you had any, should be worried. Your radiation suit's fine. You don't know what Amriel's tolerances to radiation are like. And Greg is feeling tingly.
Ooh.
I pick it up and I'm like, we got it, guys.
Maybe we
Can
should
I-
build some kind of a lead line.
I was going to say, can I make a lead box?
You could,
be
it's going to take
useful.
time. Nothing here
Yeah.
is made of lead, which means you have to do alchemy, which means
Yeah.
the crafting process takes
Why don't
longer.
we take it back to camp?
You just take it back to
Um,
camp.
No. Because then everyone will know where our camp is.
Yeah, big fucking radiation flare going off constantly,
Right. Also, we'll irradiate everything between here and there.
which
Yeah.
will leave a nice
That's fine.
trail by which to track you.
Can you if you put it back, what happens?
The radiation becomes directionalized as it's
What?
only coming out of the opening.
But it's still putting out immense amounts of radiation.
Yeah, it's putting out the same amount.
And
Yeah,
it's still like gradually increasing.
It is. It's slow. It's increasing constantly, but it's getting slower to increase. So it's like there was a burst increase to begin with, and then it's slowing down, but it's not stopping.
Okay.
Hang on, I'll sit on it. And I put it down and I sit on it. I'm like, does this help?
I don't think.
The others don't have like radiation sensors that give out numerical values. So
All right. Well, while Yuri's trying to hatch the angel hearts, Greg is going to try to make a container for it.
it's going
Does
to
it seem
take you. Like,
fragile?
it's going to take you a while,
Yeah.
maybe 10 to 20 minutes to make.
And we'll all be baked by then.
Could be. You don't know how long until they send somebody to find out what happened at the watchtower. If they're going to send anyone at all, because they might not have a reason to send someone. You don't know anything about what this room is for?
Amriel, what is the heart of an angel?
Since I do not know what is the heart of an angel.
Angels don't have hearts. It's just a term to refer to kind of. This is like the essence of an angelic being condensed down. Possibly Zadkiel worked a great miracle that drained them of their power, and so they had to reduce to this form to regenerate, basically. And because angels are on geological timescales, it's just a short nap for Zadkiel.
What's a few millennia?
Yeah.
He was present at the founding of the universe. He doesn't care if he has to wait a few eons to rebuild himself. There's 6 other archangels and a god.
Amriel, you are partly angelic, are you not?
Not the part I like to talk about, but sure.
Could you perhaps absorb this essence?
Is that a thing I can do?
It's pure angelic energy, and you were turned into not that when you deigned to rebel.
Right. So it would probably annihilate me. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Like antimatter style.
Yeah, you are actually it is actually that kind of a situation. You are anti-angel, just as they are anti-demon.
Okay. I didn't know if this was going to be a cool new superpower for Amriel or not.
Absorb angelic radiation. I mean, you can get rid of it. Wouldn't be fun.
Yuri
for
got a
Amriel.
super suit. I got a hollow projector. I thought maybe this was Amriel's thing.
Yeah, Amriel got a total molecular annihilation.
Yeah.
I
Everyone gets
stand
a
up.
thing.
I stand up and pick it up. Is it very heavy?
It feels oddly light. It's about as light as a beach ball.
And then I go, Amriel, catch, and then I do one of those fake throws where I throw my arms forward and then don't make it move.
I start cursing him in whatever language they speak in hell.
The infernal tongue.
The infernal tongue.
Infernal tongue that requires 2 tongues to speak.
It is very, very good for cursing people.
That's like half of your words.
Even hello in the infernal tongue sounds like you've just dishonored someone's mother.
Oh, so it's German. Sorry, German.
I chuckle and tuck it under my arm.
All right,
like,
so
you know
Greg
what?
is going to try to make some sort of super radiation sealing box to put that thing in.
Try and make some thick lead foil.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't need to
Wrap it
craft
up like a
because it's pretty simple.
old
You just need to eat.
Chestnut.
I'm going to go outside and do it.
All right, you're outside. And then after, just as you're finishing up making your lead blanket, you see the people coming to in the watchtower. And you see Anton reaching for the radio. He's like, "We've been attacked! We've been attacked!"
How far away is the
Wait,
watchtower?
The watchtower from you or from the base? From
us.
bunker? From you? From 10 meters?
Oh, okay. So Greg is going... Oh.
Yeah, Greg's going.
I was going to say, Greg's going to use his hollow hands to pick up the blanket, bring it inside, throw it over the angel heart, and say, "Oh, the Russians outside have woken up and have radioed that they have been attacked."
Time to go.
Yep.
Does putting the thing on the angel heart stop the radiation?
Yeah, although the lead is getting warm,
Well, you can't have everything.
and lead has a low melting point.
That'll be fun.
You just put it in the lake.
Comparatively low.
Yeah. Water also absorbs radiation real well, so when you get it back to the lake, you just fucking drop it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming
Perhaps
that,
Amriel should fly us back.
It's probably
Is that
why the
what
lake's boiling. Just full of this shit.
Just full of
Just
angels.
full of angel hearts. All 7
yeah.
of
Lots
the
of
angel Dragon Balls are located here.
very conveniently.
Christian Dragon Ball. You've got to find the Christo balls. All 7 of them are united. It will summon Yahweh. He will grant you
God.
one wish.
Can Amriel fly us back? Because it'll probably be faster.
I mean, I don't see why Emriel can't.
Yeah.
It will be a flight check, though, because you'll have a bit of... it feels like a beach ball to Yuri, but when
Yuri.
Emriel picks it up, it feels like you're trying to lift a car.
When Amriel picks up Yuri holding the ball.
Yeah.
Even more. So, the ball is
I-
incredibly heavy to Emriel. Although
I'm
with
just
lead
gonna.
mining, it doesn't hurt you.
I'm going to point out I do have a weakness, a major weakness to divine holy objects. So this is probably very
I
bad
didn't-
for me to be.
If you were touching it directly, it would be a problem.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna try to fly them out of there and back to our camp if I can.
All right, well, make me a flight check.
Okay.
There is a difficulty tier to this. And we'll say that you're both at the same power tier.
Okay. +4.
All right. The weight is off as you jump out of there, and you sort of fucking rolling through the air, but you manage to hold it together. And you go for the shortest distance, which takes you past that bloody bunker thing, and bullets fill the air. Make me another flight check.
Okay.
Now would also be a great time to quip, as bullets are filling the air and Emriel's drunk flying almost.
Okay, that is +3.
Ooh, so the bullets sort of make you turn their concentration of fire, and you just turn to get away, get out of the field of fire, but now you're sort of doubling back on where you came from. You're losing your sense of direction. There's like this burning, kind of humming, whirring sound in your ears, Emriel. The other two, you just hear fucking gunfire. It's just bullets. That's all you hear, bullets and wind.
That's pretty distracting.
What are you guys doing?
Hanging on.
Yep.
I'm trying to keep it together. I'm gonna try to put us down, maybe on that road if I can.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to go for a landing?
Yeah.
Make me a flight check.
Okay. Let's see. All right, that's at +5.
Nice. So you swoop down as they just trim the canopy, and you drop your friends off on the ground, and you look back as the gate to the bunker tower fort thing opens up, and a kind of jeep-ish looking thing rolls out with a machine gun on the back, and a bunch of soldiers in torn shorts and buttoned-up military shirts stream out with like some have AKs and others have like Mosins. They seem to have their weapons seem to be held together with baling wire and banana leaves.
Oh.
A couple of them have like spears as they stream out towards you and surround you, and just like surrender, surrender, or we'll open fire.
How many of them are there?
50 easy.
Oh.
I pull the lead sheet off the orb,
Mhm.
Oh God.
hold
Oh,
it
wow.
towards Amriel, and I'm like, "You fire," and I destroy the artifact.
And they look
She's a
at you.
demon.
Can-
It's an angelic orb. You can guess
What?
what happens when they touch.
what?
Just point.
You're saying this in English or Japanese?
English
Okay.
seems like a good option.
One of them's like, a couple of them start like shouting shit in Russian. Then they shout back, We don't know what that is.
Greg.
I say to Yuri in Japanese, you could just point it at them.
Sure, but just like
If
my
we did- if we
this intimidation tactic is not working via translation.
Okay. So Greg says to them in Russian, Amriel, you're red, right?
Yes.
If our red friend touches that sphere, everything within Greg makes up a number. 50 kilometers dies.
Why would you have such a thing with you?
She's our friend.
We met the orb. Why did you bring such a weapon to this place?
We didn't bring it.
This isn't yours?
What? No, we don't have any weapons like that. They didn't
then
send
what's the
us
problem?
down here with warheads.
We
Well,
got
then
it from
why?
the
Greg.
No.
Yeah,
Do you-
probably a bad idea to tell them that.
Yeah.
Greg's like, we got it from the. And I'm like, I can't stop you because you're
Got it
speaking
from the
Russian.
Thames.
The
We were
Thames.
just in London.
We
That's true.
fished it out of the river.
You would have said that because we don't speak Russian, so we wouldn't have known to stop you.
Yeah.
True, you could have. There's no reason why they
And
would
Greg
stop.
is painfully honest.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, we found it in your temple.
Behind a wall we destroyed.
What?
I don't say that part.
Yeah, you say we found it in your temple. There was nothing like that in there.
You did not look hard enough.
Why would they have hidden a weapon in their temple?
It is
As far
only
as
a
we could
weapon.
just
I was
see,
gonna
like
say.
an older gentleman walk. They all look pretty young, like 20 to 30, and then an older gentleman, maybe in his 50s, walks out. Clearly, their leader. You do notice that there's a few women amongst them. And the older gentleman walks out. He's like, and he says to Greg in Russian, "Found that thing in the temple. We didn't put it there. We didn't bring it there. And our understanding of the markings suggests that the original worshippers were peaceful, although the current worshippers not so. We've tried to keep the temple out of their hands.
Who are these current worshippers?
People that we brought with us that decided to disobey orders.
Well, they can have the temple now. There's nothing there.
You don't understand. If they find out that you defiled their temple to acquire this object, then we will have nothing to hold over them. They will think that we were the ones that allowed it to be destroyed, and they will attack us. The only thing that we've been able to hold against them so far and keep them at bay is through the threat of the destruction of their temple. And now, you have made it look like we have preemptively done that.
How many of these worshippers are there?
I do not know how strong they still are, only that they continue to come.
How many were there when they left?
60.
And
We've
how long
easily
ago?
killed twice that.
How long ago was that?
Time is somewhat meaningless down here.
Do you know where they are located?
To the east. They took refuge in the ancient city.
Is that the large structure that reaches all the way to the top of the cavern?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, now we know what that is. Greg relays this to everyone, to Amriel and Yuri, and says, I have an idea. I can reprogram, it might take some time, but I can reprogram my holo emitter to look like their archangel.
Do they know that there's an archangel involved? It seemed like.
Well, they know the mosaic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, they know the mosaic. They know what it is. They don't know that that's there. On the other hand, the other option is go back to the temple and fix the mosaic.
Or, my thought, if they're not allowed in, how will they ever know it's broken?
Yeah, Greg asked them that question.
Just don't let them in. No problem.
We don't let them in. My concern is that they may have eyes on us.
Soz?
We don't open that door. You did. You brought something out of there.
Okay, this is all good.
Well, if they did see that, then they're coming for us and not for you.
Yeah.
Not better for us, but.
We can't let you go.
I think you can. You definitely can. That is an option.
See him draw his pistol. I'm afraid we're going to have to take you as prisoners.
Did you miss my threat? My threat was still stands.
I think you're bluffing.
Well, fuck you.
Well, I mean, I say to Yuri, the other thing we can do is just give them all in. With the radiation that was coming out of it before, that would quickly kill any people, right? You said?
It would make them sick eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say to the leader, unfortunately, if you shoot us, my friend will drop the sphere, and then you will all die.
I thought you said that the sphere was only dangerous if it touched.
We did not qualify it saying only.
Yes, it would instantaneously destroy everything if our red friend were to touch it.
He shoots the lead-covered ball.
I uncovered it already.
Oh,
So
right,
it's
yeah.
a shiny ball.
He shoots the pearl.
Oh.
Seemingly nothing happens other than the bullet is
It's just like
squished
a ricochet.
on the pearl. It doesn't ricochet, it just gets squished.
Yeah.
Like a hollow point hitting steel.
Yeah.
I flinch and then duck down and then look up and examine this thing. And I'm like, oh,
It doesn't seem so volatile to me.
how about that?
You don't have the eyes to see it.
Right. Oh,
Like
it's not volatile. Just wait. And then Amriel puts out her hand and starts walking toward it.
That's
Look,
I'm going to. I have menace on my demon warrior, so I'm basically trying to intimidate the crap out of them.
go for it.
All right. Okay, yeah, that's +5 at ascendant.
jeez.
In which case, if you'd gotten, say, less, if you'd gotten 2, for example, probably would have been, yep, they're not lying, shoot them. With a 5, let's change that. He's like, he shoots the ground in front of Amriel. Does Amriel keep walking?
Yes.
He shoots the ground in front of Amriel again. Does
What?
Amriel keep walking?
Yeah. Is there any reaction from Zedkio?
No,
Or-
the orb is doing nothing.
Okay.
And you get close to it, and he's like, fine! Go. Know that you have likely doomed us all. You have likely destroyed what peace I had managed to broker.
What are you even doing down here?
I am not obligated to answer your questions. Leave. You have 10 seconds before I open fire. And then you hear them charge the machine gun handle.
All right, be that way. Let's go.
We should go.
Bye.
Like all great imperialist invaders, first contact did not go well.
No.
You return to your camp with your lead-covered giant pearl and settle into discussions of your future plans for the rest of this adventure. And we shall end our session there. With you just trying to work out what are you going to do with this fucking radiation orb.
The radiation ball is just sitting in the lake nearby.
I was going to say, yeah, because the lead's probably
Just
started...
bubbling.
Is lead normally red?
I don't think it's supposed to be that color.
Chill it in the water.
Yep.
Yeah, and that'll be where we call it. How'd you guys find that session? A bit longer than normal.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It's a good time.
Yeah. I didn't get that there was a puzzle with the.
Basically, if you tried to
As it
break
was
it,
about to come up.
it would have broken your hand.
Okay.
And it would have, and I was hoping that it would probably be you flailing against this thing, trying to work how to get into it. But Yuri just came in with his own version of super strength. He was like, "No, fuck it, I punched through the wall." And
Judo chop!
it doesn't have
Right.
the ability to stop anyone breaking it. It just has the holy power. So, your demon
Right. So
Yeah.
because
first to it.
right because it was angelic, I wouldn't have been effective at all.
Turned your arm into a normal person's arm, and then you
Just
slammed
punch
your
the
arm
wall.
at full force into a wall.
Yeah.
A lot of broken bone.
Well, I'm glad I saved Amriel that embarrassment.
Yep.
But you've completed your secret objective, so now it's just see if you could make any
Yeah, it's
money,
just camping.
survive.
Move the heart of an archangel to Raiderade?
What are they gonna fucking do with it? As far as they can, as far as they can tell, it's just a big fucking radioactive mass.
That's true. Okay.
Also, I mean, I don't know. Do they get it by automatically? They said bring it back to them, but that
And
doesn't mean
also,
they
it was
did.
Scout Team 1 that said they wanted it. So, I mean, Scout Team 1 owns a lot of the Raiderade company,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I figure they were telling us on behalf of Raiderade, but maybe not.
no, it was Scout Team 1 that gave you the mission. So, it could have just been, it could be purely part of the race, or it could be that Scout Team 1 wanted whatever it was. They might have their
For
own
something.
agenda.
Well, I
Um,
think if I ever end up going back home, the time that I sold an archangel to some humans is probably going to make a great story.
What I'm
Yeah.
thinking is it seems like it's a pretty good power source that we could probably do with a nuclear-powered car.
A nuclear-powered spaceship?
An
I mean,
angelically powered spaceship?
Angels travel at the speed of thought, so that's a pretty good FTL right there. If you can manage to work
Ooh.
out that and make that
Mm.
work for you.
Right. Assuming that the angel doesn't wake up ever, and if it does, hey, it's the merciful archangel, so you could always apologize profusely and hope that it doesn't smite you in holy fury.
Oops, sorry.
Maybe if you just keep siphoning its power forever, it won't be able to get strong enough to revive.
Trying to remember the name of the. It's Flashpoint. In Flashpoint, the animated movie, Aquaman, who is at war with the Amazonians, who have taken over Europe, Great Britain, sorry, captures Captain Atom and uses him as a nuclear weapon.
Oh.
At first, he just uses it to power his ocean swallowing landmass machine, and then the second time he uses it, it goes critical, and Captain Atom starts destroying the planet as his energy just cascades. I'm picturing that, but with an angel instead of a quantum man.
Okay.
But, maybe it'll go well.
Sounds
Raider
good,
Raid's
yeah.
got a good head on their shoulders, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we'll see you guys next week, and I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did enjoy it, please check out our other podcasts and other live streams. We cover a wide genre of stuff. We've got superhero stuff, weird post-apocalyptic forests, stories of gods and family, Eclipse Phase, which is always fantastic. And we're on a wide variety of social media, including Twitter, Facebook, Google+, SoundCloud, WordPress, and our audio is now also available on iTunes. So check us out on iTunes, or, just download it straight from the website. Either way, we hope you enjoyed this, and we'd love to hear from you if you have any feedback or any questions. So you can comment on any of our sites. And if you're feeling particularly generous, why not check out our Patreon and donate some money to us to help us keep making these weird, wonderful podcasts. Either way, thank you for listening. I'm Raymond. Farewell from the past.